All right. I got to make sure that when this one gets ready to rock and roll, that I can mute this. Boy, it's a wild time. It is a wild time indeed. If you can hear me, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. We got Omandru in the house. We got the Lorax in the house. We definitely have some people in the house. And let me just pause this real quick. And so this is what we're going to talk about. It's the ARRI 5x5. 5x5. Lorax is in the house, dude. He's doing math. Yeah, we are going to talk all things the Alexa 35 Extreme. Extreme. It's so extreme. So I think some people were really like bothered by this, that they were doing this old school 90s thing. Thank you. What up, Andy and Albury? They're like, some people be like, why is it this 90s thing? But then, yo, Indonesia in the house. Always good to see you, Omandru. But then someone brought it to everyone's attention. They're like, guys, this is from 2004. The ARRI Flex 435 Extreme. It's so like, this is so funny to me because I was a kid that grew up during the 90s and like everything was fucking extreme, dude. Like even Pepsi, like everything was extreme. I think that's why we all became drug addicts and alcoholics. It's like we had to do everything to the extreme. Like I think, in fact, I'm pretty sure the X Games started in the 90s too. I think that's when X Games started. Like everything extreme was from that era. So yeah, this is wild. So I wanted us to go back a little bit and understand because I brought it up here on this, which one was it? Oh no, this website got jacked already, bro. I'm back, playa. Stuart Monroe in the house. They needed to put an X on it somehow. Yo, extremely expensive? Yeah. Well, yeah, it's gonna be a rental only, because check it out too. I found some old used prices of just like, you know, the old ARRI 435s, that even the non-extremes, even those are like 17.8 thousand, 17, almost 18 grand for the original 435. And that's not even the extreme, boy. So what was the deal with the extreme? It was 4-perf, 3-perf, and anamorphic, right? So those were the options. But the real reality is it was the first time, see right here, well, it's down here, right here. A new FEM functional expansion module was added in 2003 to increase the camera's electronic feature set. Okay, so ARRI integrated this into the new 435 Extreme, which was released in 04. So the new functions included a faster ramping speed capability, a wider ramping range, which would go down to 0.1 frames per second, which I don't even understand that. So you guys, if there's film heads in here, oh, I hope fucking John 2000 comes in here so he can tell us about this. Because in my brain, I'm like, is it opposite for film or something? Like, why would 0.01, or wait, yeah, why would 0.1 frames per second be good? I'm so confused by that. Like, someone has to explain that to me like I'm a 2-year-old. It's just confusing for me right now. But I don't understand how like the film cameras work anyways. Gen X, the original extreme. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying, dude. Brazil in the house. Shit, that's amazing, dude. Yeah, first X Games was in 1995. Yeah, I thought so. Here in Brazil, you can buy an apartment with the cost of this camera for us. Oh, yeah, dude. You don't even want to get into the new extreme. So now, like, so that was the nod, right? Like the old school extreme. And now you got this bitch right here. Motion meets emotion. Yeah, these are sexy, beautiful cameras. Oh, I wanted to bounce into this real quick though. I don't want to leave this too quick yet, because something else that I found really interesting, the fact that like even ARRI, like the Hollywood's leading fucking camera, even they jumped on this fucking extreme bandwagon, right? Like nobody was immune to the extreme shit in the 90s, dude. Even ARRI got onto that bandwagon. I just think that's so funny, man. But yeah, so this is the new one, Alexa 35. So that is the crazy shit. It goes up to 660 frames per second. Now, here's what I was saying, guys. You know what would have really made this camera truly extreme? If it went to 666 frames per second. Fuck yeah, extreme, 666. Missed opportunity, ARRI. Horribly missed opportunity. The thing about this, it's the sensor overdrive mode. The thing about it is though, it's a little bit, it's, you know, it's cool. Like look down here, you get the real specs, right? So down here you can see to get the 660 frames per second, It actually is 2K Super 16. It's Super 16 mode. But I mean, hey, I mean, honestly, is there any other camera that can do 2K Super 16? I think, what? Yeah, wait a second. What does that fucking Burano camera do? What does Sony's high-speed camera do? Yeah, dude, 666 FPS would be a blast. Hell yeah, it would have been awesome, dude. Hold on, I want to see, does Sony make a camera that does, because, you know, you hear 660 frames per second, you think, yeah, that's pretty bad, that is extreme. But then when you're like, wait, it's Super 16? You're like, wait, is that cool though? I mean, I get it. Like, I mean, it's an ARRI, so yeah, it's probably gonna be nice. Motion meets emotional damage. I want an ARRI so bad, but I'm a mere mortal, so no can do. Yeah, I mean, you're just gonna be renting these cameras. Let's be real, bro. You're just gonna rent these things. That's the reality of it. You're just gonna rent it. But now I want to know, like, what cameras do Super 16? Wait, how can someone that knows how to navigate the internet here? The biggest thing is, like, I wish I could go into like one of these websites and just type in like the maximum frames per second, and then is there a way for it to show me like, hey, like these are, you know, is there a way to list the cameras for frames per second? Is that an option, dude? No, it's not. Weird. I'm really surprised that it's not an option to search frames FPS. Because I feel like that's what everyone is, like, even in the mirrorless world, that's what everyone gets hung up on is, you know, what is the frames per second that it can do. But they're only listing for video resolution. Damn it all. I was really just hoping for it to show me, like, hey, man. Oh, high-speed frame rates. Hell yeah, high-speed frame rates. 237. And then I wish there was a way you could sort it by the fastest to the slowest, or vice versa. There are special cams that can do thousands of frames. Well, yeah, the Phantom Flex, right? Or what the fuck's the name of that camera? The Phantom. I think it's just called the Phantom, right? Like, that's the only one I've ever known that's like the super high speed camera. Because they use that on like a lot of the commercials and shit. This is the only one I knew about that was like crazy fast. Oh, they're not gonna have the specs on here. Damn it, share grid. Hold up, let me try to find the is it this? Yeah, Phantom high speed cameras. Yeah, these are the only ones I ever knew about to be like super fast. But this is like a specialty camera, you know? Like I don't really even care about these. Like this Phantom and that shit, Phantom Flex, that's all specialty cameras. Yeah, like 1,000 frames per second. So but that's a specialty though. I was just more curious, like what does the Burano do? Doesn't it have like crazy frame rates too? Or what's the Venice? Sony Venice frame rates? Or now is there a Sony Venice 2? I feel like there's a Sony Venice 2. Yeah, recording formats Venice 2. What does this thing say on here, dude? Full frame. Yeah, okay, but it wasn't. It was Super 16 mode, man. Yeah, I mean, it still even gets capped out at 5.4K. It only goes up to 90 frames per second. But look, it can go up to 90 frames per second in 5.4K. Where was that new Alexa? Wait, well, now I even forgot what it was. I already forgot it, dude. 90 frames per second. Okay, yeah, so... yeah, see, these are all way less than 5.4K. That's why I feel like, dude, does the Venice not have like a Super 16 mode? That's true too, huh? Sometimes they just don't have a Super 16 mode. Damn. Yeah, because that's right? Like, not all cameras can do Super 16 mode. Wait, what's this bullshit right here? Oh, that's what I was looking at. Damn. Okay, what does this say? High frame rate Venice 2 can shoot at speeds of up to 120 at 4K. Yeah, see, it doesn't even have a Super 16 mode. So that's a draw, huh? I never would have thought about that. Like, that's a draw to have a Super 16 mode. See, like, that's what I mean. Like, ARRI is so different. Like, the world of ARRI is like almost backwards from like the rest of the camera community. Because you look, all the other fucking, like just look at that Venice 2. 8.6K, and then what the fuck is Blackmagic? They just put out the 12K camera, and Alexa's like, nah, we got a new mode, dude. 2K Super 16. They don't even give a fuck, dude. That's what I love about it. And look, it only goes up to 4.6 anyways, which actually is that's a huge increase in resolution for ARRI, man. No joke. 4.6K open gate. Holy shit, that's a badass camera. Imagine when ARRI launched this extreme cam with 65 sensor. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be nuts. And they can now probably too, huh? They have the technology now. That's wild, dude. Frame rates up to 330 frames per second. Look at that. up to 330 frames per second, you can retain the camera's full 17 stops of dynamic range. I mean, that's why. That's why it costs so much right there, bro. Holy shit. While a sensor overdrive mode, the sensor overdrive, put it in extreme mode. You're on set. Dude, we need more frames per second. Put it in extreme mode. Fucking Charlton Heston. While a sensor overdrive mode allows frame rates up to 660 frames per second at a dynamic range of 11 stops. Damn, it takes a hit though, huh? Dude, I never thought about that either. Like when you crop in on the sensor, you're losing dynamic range. I'm so dumb. I never thought of that. I've never thought of that once, of losing dynamic range when cropping in on the sensor. But of course that makes sense. Of course that makes sense. See, that's another thing too. Like only ARRI is going to talk about shit like that. Like these other camera companies, they would never talk about you losing dynamic range with the crop in shit, because why would they tell you that? That's like hurts the motive of what they're trying to do. But that's kind of what's different about ARRI. They're not really making this shit to sell. They're making this shit so you fucking rent it and use it on your fucking Hollywood movie. You know what I mean? It's just a different kind of marketing that they have, you know? It's pretty cool. Is ARRI still the go-to in Hollywood? Hell yeah, Mondru. What you talking about? Wait, hold on. That the way to properly film a pop shove at 660 frames per second. Fuck, I hope I do so. Dude, if I was shooting at 660 frames per second, hopefully I could do something cooler than a pop shove it. I'd bust my ass trying, boy. By the way, who makes sensor for ARRI? They'll never tell you, bro. You will never find out. That is like hidden German secret, my friend. It's buried deep in the basement. Is ARRI still the go-to in Hollywood? Yes, dude, I 100% believe so. Why are they so expensive if they're backward? They learned this pricing style from Leica? No, it's literally what I just said. They're not trying to sell this shit. They don't need to sell this. They don't need to. They don't want, like, look, yeah, the rental houses are going to buy it, and operators that work enough to act like a rental house, they're going to buy it. But the reality is, the big shit that it's going to get used the most on is just going to be renting it. You know what I mean? They're going to be renting it. Like the people that actually use these motherfuckers, they don't buy this shit. They're renting it. You know what I'm saying? And ARRI knows that. You know what I mean? That's the market that they're in. It's like it's almost like Leica, dude. They don't have to sell you shit. They don't have to sell you anything. They could literally just have their shit, never sell anything, and they would be fine, dude. Because I don't know if that's true for Leica. That's probably not true for Leica, but almost, maybe nowadays, almost. Because you know what I mean? Like they've reached this sort of legendary status where they're just like, we don't have to sell this shit. People are gonna, I mean, obviously they're having to sell it to the rental houses, right? But what I mean is they're not fucking doing like what Sony's doing and making all the little toy versions of it and selling it all over Best Buy and shit. They don't have to do that. That's what I mean. Like, and that's also how Leica is too. They don't need to do that. You go to them, they know the ones that can do it will come to them. And like in case of ARRI, it's Hollywood. It's all of fucking Hollywood. So, you know, ARRI built it and now Hollywood comes, you know, and they've been doing it forever. Doing it forever. They will always be the standard. The only thing that like, I guess the one thing that was like scaring people for a minute was Sony. Like Sony, I think Sony had higher rental numbers than like a year or so ago, or maybe even still. Like, I wish there was I know there's the search to show you like what cameras shot at the festivals, but who the fuck cares about that? Like, dude, like really, who cares? Like, who is it? It's YC Imaging that does that shit, isn't it? That they do the thing where it's like, these are the cameras that were shot at the festival or whatever. But I've never, like, yeah, it's these guys. I've never been one to care about that because I'm like, who cares? It's the cameras that were shot at the festival. It's already being made for that market of festivals, right? And so like, and if it's the big festivals that we know about, it's Sundance, you know, these are the ones where you really got to kind of know people to even get your fucking movie in there anyways, right? So it's already being made with this kind of, dare I say, like pretentious attitude anyways, you know? So like in that case, it's like, well, now I know that's not every single movie, right? So that I think that's probably wrong of me to say that and kind of like put an umbrella over it. So yeah, there's probably definitely ones like little guys that just happen to get in, right? And maybe they fucking shot that shit on the FX6 or something, right? So, but either way, like that's why I've never cared about that list about what cameras shot what at the festivals, because it's just, festivals are a little rigged, man. I really do kind of believe that. It's certainly, I feel like it's certainly, there is some nepotism involved just to get into the big festivals. I do believe that too. You know what I mean? Just to get in the big ones, because the big ones are they're so big now. It's like insanity, right? Which also, by the way, we were talking about that too, like where Sundance doesn't even happen in Sundance anymore, or it's not going to very soon. They're like moving it to, what the fuck they say they're gonna move it to Colorado or something, dude. Okay, anyways, I was going down crazy rabbit holes. We were gonna try to see like what were we doing? I forgot what the fuck we were doing right now. Oh, who makes the sensor for ARRI? No, you're never gonna figure that out, dude. I hope it's not Sony who makes sensors for ARRI. I mean, honestly, I really don't think so. I really don't think so. I mean, you can try to find out. Like, I don't. There's no way. You would have to know someone on the inside who may. You certainly wouldn't be able to Google it. I don't think you could trust anything on Google. Honestly, who makes Alexa 35 sensor? I don't think I would believe anything I read, unless it's from their fucking website. Oh, that's their website. But hold on, look at this Cine D bullshit. The manufacturer. Oh no, here we go. Oh yeah, see on Semi. It's like some fucking random thing. And that's how Leica used to be too. Well, they started with Kodak. And then they kind of, for like the M10 and M262, M240, those were all just these weird kind of random companies that literally specialized in making sensors. And now with the M11 and all of those, now Leica has Sony sensors. Everyone knows that now. Whereas these guys, you know, they're kind of like how Leica used to be. There are other companies out there that make sensors. The problem is like they're going to be way more expensive to source than like Sony. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot what you have to consider too. You know, in terms of like, why are they so expensive? You know, it's just a little bit more, what's the word? Like unreachable, unattainable. Is that, what is it? Elite. Well, maybe a little elitist. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe a little bit of elitism to it. Just the fact like this is this special company on Semi that makes the ARRI sensors. You know, they won't touch any other camera company. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they fucking make sensors for NASA. That's sometimes how it goes too. Some of these companies you find out make ARRI. And why would they do that with CCD sensors if they sucked in dynamic range and low light capabilities? The difference is the power. What they use to power the CCD sensors at NASA is huge. It's like power plants. And so that's why we can't really have the same luck with CCD sensors in these little smaller cameras. There's no way to power the sensor to make it do what it really can shine at, you know, which is dynamic range and fucking low light capabilities. If they reveal it, wait, hold on. hold on right here now, baby. I hope it's not, okay. This sensor probably came from extraterrestrial inverted engineering tech. Right, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. ARRI Alexa cinema cameras, including the ALEV Mark III sensor in older models and the ALEV 4 sensor in the newer Alexa 35, are custom developed and manufactured by onsemi. Yeah, sorry, Stuart beat, yeah, formerly On Semiconductor. You know what? I think Leica have even used them before too. On Semiconductor, because that sounds familiar. Inversed. Yeah, what'd I do with that ad now? Oh yeah, right here. If they reveal it, okay, hold on. Think C500 has Super 16 mode, but think it tops at 120. Shit, thanks, Tim. If they reveal it, Chime, that's right, the C500 Mark II did have a Super 16 crop. Dude, man, I know. There'll always be a soft spot for me for the C500 Mark II, man. There really is, though. And you know what? It's because of the C500 Mark II why I was so obsessed with like the C70 and then the C80. It's all because of the C500 Mark II. It's a huge camera though, honestly. It's big. Look, it's still selling for $5,500. Yeah, it has Super 16 modes. I forget that that's a draw. But you know, I mean, if you want to shoot Super 16 mode, you should just get the OG Pocket. But you're going to be tapped out at 30 frames per second. I guess it makes sense now. I guess it's all making sense now. It just wasn't extreme enough. This camera though is just a beautiful camera because it also does it does 6K RAW. And that was kind of rad at the time too. Yeah, man. Super 16, but it taps at 120, huh? If they reveal it, Chinese companies will jump on it immediately and make clones. No way. They'd never be able to do it. Plus two, you're fucking with Godzilla. You don't want to be fucking with the German Godzilla trying to rip them off. I don't think I would do that. Do you ever notice that though? Do you ever notice there's like a certain line of respect? Like people, they have no problem ripping off Leica lenses, but they won't touch the fucking rangefinder. Like nobody's doing that. Like there's no Chinese digital rangefinder. There's just not. Why? Probably because it's hard as fuck to make, number one. And it's probably expensive as fuck to make too. Oh no, there is one. They're not Chinese though. What's the name of that company? Pixie or something? Someone is doing it and it's still super expensive, but it has so many problems. What is the name of it? It's like Pixie or yeah, it's this thing, the Pixie Max. But man, I see a lot of stuff on Facebook where people have to send them back and shit. It's hard, dude. It's hard to make a rangefinder camera. But theirs are pretty nuts. Theirs has crazy like features over the Leica cameras, but they're still super expensive. Look, this one's sold out. That was the first 64-bit camera. The world's first 64-bit. What the hell? So see this one now though is full frame. It's 4,000 euros, which is what? Probably like $4,500 US. So I don't know. It's a little cheaper than like a Leica M11. I mean, quite a bit cheaper, honestly, but it's still an expensive camera for just like a rangefinder digital camera, you know? I've started watching the TV show Oz again. It looks amazing. It was filmed using an Aton XTR prod camera with a Cooke 2.8 zoom lens on 16mm film. You know what? Did I ever used to watch that show? I don't know if I ever watched Oz. It was like that. It was like that perfect. Yeah, 1997 to 03. Nah, bro. I was like full skateboarding mode all of those years, literally. 97 to 03 was like my skateboarding prime. I was locked in, dude. I didn't watch television or do anything. I was just locked into drinking, smoking, skateboarding. I was extreme. Full circle. Yeah, I never watched this. This might be an interesting one to get into. What is this on now? HBO? They probably have this. Look at this lighting, bro. Come on. I don't know about this, bro. I hope this is just a BTS shot. I don't know about that, bro. This is pretty nice, though. This is cool. Yeah, it's just hit and miss with these old school shows, you know, because it's like hard light with just like so much tungsten just blasting. Plus, this is like a prison show, right? So they're like they gotta try to really kind of. This is, you know, it's hard, you know, like yeah, it's hard to like look at this kind of stuff nowadays because it's just like now, you know what the problem is too? It's like YouTube kind of killed it for everybody, like having like a singularity and like being able to voice their own shit. Because like anyone like doing a YouTube channel about cinematography or anything, they would look at this and go, "This is shit," or like the haters in the comments be like, "This guy fucking sucks. Look at his lighting. This is shit." You know, I mean that's true. You know what I'm talking about too. Because nowadays, like everyone's just so obsessed with like the soft light and like no shadows. Like as soon as you see shadows, you instantly think like this is fucking shitty. You know. And I think that's just like, it's just what happens, you know, like with what is it called? Like the general opinion or like the pop culture or whatever it is. It's just like, it just fucks you up a little bit, you know, because the reality is like, this is just how it always used to be. It always used to be like this. There's shadows in the real world, son, you know, like there's shadows in real life, baby. So, but it's like, nah, like nowadays you try to avoid it. Like nowadays you would try to like avoid this crazy hot edge light here. I mean, honestly, this is what will happen for me sometimes. And then I go, fuck, I fucked it, you know, and it'll look just like this sometimes when in my head, I go, I fucked it up. You know what I mean? It's just a different, but also like, I think, you know, the film is different, man. So it's just, I don't want to say you overlight it. I don't think that's true, but sometimes you do. Sometimes you feed the film more light because sometimes you're a little nervous, you know? This is definitely BTS though. A lot of this is just BTS. But I mean, look at this. Do you think that's a staged BTS shot? I don't know. That's doubtful, bro. If it is, they going in. Actors usually aren't posing for BTS shots. They're not gonna fucking do that. You know what I mean? I'm speaking from experience too. Like and I know I wasn't in big shit, but just remember I used to stand in for a lot of celebrities. So I know what they do on set. You know what I mean? They're not gonna pose for a BTS camera. So that's how I know this is like fucking, this is the real screen grab. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, wow, this is gnarly. It was just a different time, you know, like look at all the hard light. It's hard, dude. Look at he's gone. And that's just a film thing too. You would think it would retain it a little better though. I feel like that clipped out, like maybe that clipped out in the digital conversion. They just lost it. Cause I feel like film can pull back some highlights, boy. But you don't know. Maybe that's just how much they were pumping it. But it's a digital conversion. Fucks it up, man. Just look at this though. And then they go hard, son. They go dark. But see, that's another downside of the film, you know, because they're kind of underlighting the darker skin tones maybe a little too much. But honestly, nowadays it's like everything looks like this now. You know, it's like everything's dark as fuck now. It's this, but with a super soft edge. Like you wouldn't see that edge at all. It'd be so soft. And then it's like, yeah, this is pretty much what we do now. That's funny, but not this kind of shit. This shit's weird to me. Is that the dude from fucking Beverly Hills or whatever? What was that show? What's that guy's name? Yeah, that's Luke Perry. Oh, wow. Yeah, maybe I'll watch this show. I never checked it out. This is hard, like, but see what I mean? See what I mean? Like, this is kind of like this nowadays they would look at this and they would talk trash all over in your comment section, right? Because they'd be like, oh, you fucked it up. Or, you know, like, you know what I hate to see too, like in the Facebook groups? People will, man, I always feel bad for when there's like someone new to like a group, like a camera group or whatever, and they're excited, they just got the camera and they want to share screen grabs of the project that they're doing. And you're just like, oh no, dude. And then sure enough, like one fucking dickhead will start it up in the comments about, you know, something that, you know, like somehow just basically shitting on their stuff, you know, shitting on their work. And then it never fails, dude, because it's fucking Facebook. And then there'll be like 10 other people jumping in and you're just like, dude, man, come on, man. Come on, bro. So why did I bring that up? But just because, like, I know that's what people talk shit on, because I know my shit's everywhere on social media. I know what people talk shit about me on or what they did. You know, I had a lot of work in the beginning that kind of was a little hot like that, honestly, you know? And it's just like, nowadays, it's so weird. Like, if people don't like something, social media just has not taught any manners at all. You know, there's no manners in social media, and people will just like fucking be brutal to you. It does depend on the platform though. I feel like YouTube and Instagram are extremely brutal. Threads is a little bit too, I found out. But in the TikTok world, TikTok's different. Like, it's just very, and I think it's because TikTok has a very documentary mentality overall of just how they're doing things over there. They're very grassroots. They could give a fuck less about anything in regards of like, dare I say, like the art of the way the image looks. It's just a different medium over there. But I guess it makes sense, right? Because YouTube, you're trying to prove to the world, like, hey, man, I'm a video guy. I know what I'm doing. And then on Instagram, everyone's like, I take pretty pictures, you know. So I get it. There's like a fucking, you know, they all have their like unspoken rule or whatever. But it's all bullshit, dude. Because when it's art, it shouldn't fucking matter anyways, right? Because one dude could look at this and go, fuck yeah, that's cool, man. I want my next fucking movie to look like that. And then for every dude that says that, there's 20 motherfuckers that are like, ass, this is ass, pure dog shit, you know? And then they can't even do anything that comes close to looking like this. You know what I mean? In terms of like them being better than this, you know, that's usually what it is. People that publicly talk shit, they can't even produce the shit they're talking shit about. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're talking shit about it. When it comes to the work, right? Cause you know, don't get it twisted. I shit on people's character. I shit on people or companies, right? I'll shit on people and companies. Yeah. What's that? Yeah, that's integrity, baby. But in terms of someone's work, I could hate someone. Like, for instance, like take Cam Mackey, for example, right? Just because we all know he's the guy, right? So you take him, for example. As much as we hate each other, I would not sit there and fucking talk shit about anything that he's doing, you know, in terms of his work. Even if I thought it sucked, right? I just wouldn't. I wouldn't talk shit about someone's work, even as bad as I hated that person. I just wouldn't do it. It's not the type of dude I am. Look at this dude back here, dude. Look how ripped he is on set. Or maybe he's got something going on. I shouldn't have said anything. Disregard that. But this is a badass shot right here. This shot is awesome, dude. That's a killer shot. I think they used this, didn't they? This looks like, this is, you know what this is? This is Platoon. This is the Platoon shot for prison. That's hilarious. Everybody's got the Platoon shot. Never fails, bro. My friend who knows Leica top levels was told the Chinese companies literally want to kidnap Peter Karb, their optical top man, today. What? Dude, you're nuts, bro. You're crazy. What's with the audio? You are buffering. What do you mean buffering? Buffering? What do you mean buffering? Your live is glitching. Is it really? Oh, I don't have my fan on. Let me turn my fan on the camera. The camera's probably getting overheated. Please hold for attaching small rig fan to back of camera. Oops. Hold on. This takes a minute. I didn't prepare for this. There we go. I think the camera was overheating, and then it causes the live to start glitching. Are we back in now? It's good now. Yeah, I had to attach the it's the fucking A7C Mark II, bro. It overheats, but it doesn't show anything weird happening on the screen. Or maybe I just wasn't fucking looking at it. Anyways, damn, sorry guys for that. Probably some of my best jokes left on the fucking floor, man. God damn it. All right, that's how it goes, I guess. Anyways, is it true Trump owns ARRI? Shut your fucking mouth, dude. Get out of here with that talk. Pixie French company. Yeah, they're French, huh? Yeah, they're French, bro. Yeah, I mean, they're cool. Hey, dude, I was looking at these hard. They got some really cool features. You know what's crazy too? They did this weird thing where they like combined like a monochrome sensor with a non-monochrome sensor. I mean, that's a really dumb way of saying it, but yeah, see, like they have a way to switch back and forth, switch your camera to monochrome, which is this mono mode, or you can go back to Bayer mode. Did you guys know it's pronounced Bayer? It looks like it's pronounced Bayer. It's actually pronounced Bayer. Did you know that? That's a little nerdy thing. But that's from Probst. And Probst is like the fucking guru of cinematography world. You guys know what I'm talking about? Probst. What the fuck's what's his name, dude? Probst. You know what I'm talking about, dude. Come on, man. You know what I'm talking about. Who knows what I'm talking about? You stream 4K or 1080p? I don't know. It's supposed to be, I honestly don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Jonathan. Yeah, I'm really not even savvy enough to be doing this live stream shit, to be honest with you. I'm really not. I'm sure a lot of you have figured it out by now. Not David Probst, not Jeff Probst. Damn it, what's his name, bro? What's the guy's yeah, so it is D Bayer? I don't know. Maybe so, dude. Maybe so. I don't know. Your sound and stream is fine, bro. Must be on dial-up. Yeah, you're in Australia, mate. You're on the old dial-up down there. That was my attempt at an Australian. Dude, I've never been good at accents. My accents, that's why I'd never do accents, dude. That's why I got so lucky. I got so lucky that I have a weird voice and was able to like, because that's how I got into the Actors Union, is because of my voice for cartoons. I got lucky. I didn't have to do I didn't have to do an accent. You know, I got so lucky, dude. Because I remember I even tried. I even tried the first day I tried to do an accent, and they come in the booth. He came in the booth and he goes, "What are you doing?" And I go, "Oh, I don't know. Like I was just trying something." And he goes, "No, don't try anything. Just do you. Do what you did." He goes, just to talk. I was like, "Okay, cool." That shit was so funny. But I was super nervous. It was literally my first time in the studio recording my voice for an acting thing. It was for that. It was for a cartoon. It was for a pilot. It was a big deal, dude. We were in Jeff Bass's home studio. That's the same studio where Eminem recorded 8 Mile. So it was a big deal. I was so nervous, and I started doing an accent. He comes in like, "What the fuck are you doing?" "Just talk, dude." I said, "Oh, okay." Oh my God, dude. Can anyone remember who I'm talking about? Probst. It's a famous camera guy. His last name is Probst. Who the fuck is it, man? Famous. Watch, this is how I Google stuff. Famous camera guy, Probst. There it is, Christopher Probst. See, it works. Yeah, so Chris Probst, this guy is like the genius. Anything you want to learn about sensors and all kinds of stuff, like Christopher Probst is your man. Damn, why is there 2 different IMDb's? That's crazy. Someone fucked up his shit, dude. See, when that happens, you got to merge them. But this is him. Look at all the stuff he's done. I'm pretty sure this is him, Christopher Probst. Yeah, look, War of the Worlds. He's a director of photography. They're doing a new War of the Worlds? There's a new War of the Worlds? No. Ice Cube's in it. Of course he is. Of course he is. Who else is in it? Who's the lead? Oh, I see. It's like interesting. Henry Hunter Hall. Why does that name sound familiar? Henry Hunter Hall. He's in something. The Watcher. Damn, I don't know half this cast though. Devin Bostick? Is that the guy that plays you know who I thought that was? I thought that's the guy who plays Andor. He kind of looks like him though. I don't know any of these people, dude. Michael O'Neill's in it. This is weird. They're redoing War of the Worlds? Why? Why do you want to redo War of the Worlds? Wasn't that the Tom Cruise movie? I thought that one was fine, but wasn't that one also a remake too?
It's an old radio show from the 50s.
Oh, it's an old radio show from the 50s, Marianne said. Anyways, yeah, he's a big deal. I mean, you can just look at all the shit he's done, bro. Look at all the shit he's done, dude. Anyways, he's like the king nerd, man. Oh, guys, I wanted us to watch a little bit of that new ARRI though. Do you guys know about hold on, where's Vimeo? Right here. We can watch Vimeo because they don't give a fuck. Do you guys know about Timur Savan? Timur Savan's the man, dude. He's been around for a very, very, very long time. Here in Brazil, the jokes came well in 1080p. Good to know, Borges. But so Timur was like, in the beginning of Red cameras, I guess they were having a lot of problems with the way the red sensors interpreted skin tones. So Timur says, wait, what? Jason Morby's $10 says it's going to be anus. What are you talking about, dude? War of the Worlds rating 3.2 out of 10 on IMDb. Yeah, but not, what, this one though? This one hasn't even come out yet. This one comes out in 2025. It didn't even come out yet, did it? Oh, yeah. It releases July. Oh, it just came out. What did it go? Straight to video? This must be like a straight to video thing. It said it came out on July 30th. I didn't see one fucking trailer for this movie. This is the problem with nowadays, though. You're not going to. It's too hard nowadays to get people to see your shit, man. Oh, yeah, H.G. Wells. It's an old H.G. Wells story. Okay. All right. Anyways, I wanted us to watch this because Timur's the man. Anyways, that's what I was trying to talk about before you guys start talking about anuses. Timur. So what he used to do with the old ARRIs, he did a whole thing on it, man. And he was showing, and he used to shoot for, what's the show with Big Bird? Sesame Street. This guy used to shoot for Sesame Street. And, you know, Sesame Street has a lot of colors with the costumes, but also you got to match that with the skin tones, right? So he was doing a crazy thing where he was shooting with the reds and shooting them cold with a cold color temp. But then, if I can remember this correctly, I think he was shooting cold in camera, but then using a tungsten filter from like photo lenses on the lenses. So he was combining the tungsten filter, but with cold temperature, and it came out like a perfect skin tone. Or it was something like that. Maybe I have it backwards. Anyways, he's the man. Long story short, it's Timur Savan. So this is his footage that he has shot with the new Extreme Alexa 35. So in case you guys haven't seen this yet, and I'm pretty sure we can watch this. It doesn't matter. Do we see if we have audio to it? What the hell? Oh, was there audio playing before and I couldn't hear it because of the headphones? Is that pretty loud? Oh yeah, we can blow it up because this is supposed to be like high frame rates or whatever. Oh, it's not gonna let me do it with the way that I have this set up. So, and then I took a screenshot of like the specs and stuff. So this would be, oh shit, John, you are here, dude. What up, John? My spouse spent all my money today. War of the Wars, Gene Barry, 1958. War of the Worlds, Tom Cruise. Gene Barry did the movie best. Oh shit. So there was a 1958 movie. I don't even know who Gene Barry is. I'm not familiar with him. Oh yeah, John. So that's what we were gonna do. Man, I can't remember. We would have to rewind to like a half hour ago because I was like, if John comes in here tonight, there was something I was gonna ask you, man. Damn it, and now I can't remember because we were talking about the original Alexa 35F. I don't know how long you've been in here, but the original Extreme. We were talking about the original Extreme ARRI Alexa 435 that came out in 2004. But I forgot. Oh, I remember now. Okay, so they said the special thing about the ARRI 435 Extreme was that it had a wider ramping range, which could go down to 0.1 frames per second. But like me being an idiot, I'm like, why is that a good thing? And so like is film reverse or something? Like, I know I'm like, this is probably like so stupid, but I'm like, you know what I mean? Cause like, why is it a good thing to go the opposite way? Cause like in the digital world, we go the other way. You know what I mean? Look, this one, high speed up to 660 frames, right? So like, it's obviously the higher the frames goes, the better. But why are they, so like, why with the film camera, are they talking about it backwards? they're not talking about anything high. This is a very low number, 0.1 frames per second. So you see what I'm saying? Like, why is that cool? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. So then in my head, I was just like, oh, I guess film's backwards or some shit. Like, I just don't understand it enough. Like, I have no experience with like film cameras like that at all. I don't know if you know that, John, but sorry to throw that on you. Anyways, what the fuck else was I talking about? Oh yeah, we were watching that fucking champagne thing to make a massive time lapse. Yeah, a massive time lapse. That's hilarious. Hey, you could be right about that actually, but they're supposed to be extreme. There's nothing extreme about a time lapse, is there? Or maybe that's how it was in 04. 04, they're like, you know what we really need? We need a fucking epic time lapse. Hey, maybe on film, that's a big deal. That's hilarious. Yeah, I never thought about that. Maybe so. That's funny, man. Fuck, now I lost the thing. Anyways, so yeah, this is Tamir's footage. Did he put the details on here? Testing the new ARRI Extreme's high speed capability. Okay, hold on. He had the specs shared with us somewhere, dude. I think I screenshot it on my phone. I'll airdrop it to the computer so we can look at the details. I'll let it play while you guys watch. Haha, should be 0.666. Yeah, exactly. Extreme 666. Extreme. ARRI Extreme. I should make a commercial. ARRI Extreme. Yeah, I'll make a commercial for a new 666 version. X Extreme. Double X. Double Extreme. It's 666. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna pull up the specs on this because Tamir is the man. A lot of these guys, they get access to these things way before the stuff is dropped on it. Oh my god, I deleted it already. Oh no, here it is. Okay, let me share this. Yeah, it's pretty good though. It's hard to tell on the screen share. And plus I have to keep it so tiny. It won't let me blow it up. For some reason, it won't let me blow it up. Aw, damn it. So that's the original. Here's this. So this is the details on his shit right here. Yeah, he said, this will replace a Phantom for me 90% of the time. He said it'll replace the Phantom for him 90% of the time. Holy shit. 1600 ISO. Wow. 180 degree shutter. Everything in 660 frames per second. Sped up some shots in post. ARRI RAW. So it's doing ARRI RAW at 660 frames per second. T2 to T28. A 2K resolution output to 1080p. That's interesting. Custom color grade using my real world 11 3-strip process with nitrate film effects, halation, and grain. So he's not even using like some of the custom looks. Cause you know, that's another cool thing that ARRI has now with all like the custom film looks. He's not even using their shit. I guess that makes sense. Wow, dude. So this is all Super 16. Oh, he doesn't say what the lenses were though. He probably updated this. New to the channel, watching from Atlanta. Hell yeah, what's up, James Cookson? Yeah, we're just fucking cracking jokes about the extreme new ARRI. But this is footage that Tamir shot. Tamir's the man, dude. This is all like high, fancy, elegant, you know? That's badass though. That looked nice, didn't it? Sorry, I'm not meaning to look like that, but I was trying to back this up a little bit. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's pretty rad, dude. You see the puff and then you see the water come out. That was pretty good, dude. Yeah, that's kind of rad. I could see how this could, maybe Phantom is like sweating a little bit, but can't Phantom go larger than 2K Super 16? I would imagine it could, dude. To my mind, why would it need to go to 0.1 frames? I never had a use for anything that slow, plus talking about frame slams that slow. Back in the day, anything less than 15 frames per second would slap rails. Yeah, he's talking about the film. Yeah, so that's why it's weird to me too. I was like, why are they talking about it backwards? That's why in my brain I was like, maybe it's better for, or maybe the film does it backwards. But yeah, that doesn't make sense, right? Like we stole the idea from film. So yeah, it would still mean the same thing. Yeah, I couldn't figure that out either, why that was a cool thing. That was extreme in 2004 to go 0.1 second, 0.1 frames per second. But this is fucking Wikipedia. Maybe someone fucked this up though. I don't know. I don't know who would be like sabotaging this though. That'd be funny if it's someone's goal just to sabotage the fucking anything about ARRI on Wikipedia. And it's like so weird. It's down to like the frames per second mode. I didn't get yeah, I know. It's weird, man. Yeah, and so they have a new codec in this camera too. It's called ARRI Core. 5 times longer pre-recording. Oh yeah, that's right. It has a longer pre-recording now too. Hey, you know what? That's a really cool feature. Like when I first got the FX6, you know, it has like FX6 has pre-record too. And I was always like, who the fuck's gonna use that? That's dumb. And I use it all the time. You're like, oh yeah, it's actually like genius. Oh man. Yeah, dude. And there's the original. Oh, they had the original from this side. Dude, even the original is badass, man. Wow. So much money right there in that canister. Shooting all that film at 0.1 frames per second. Oh shit. But hey, I think that's a really nice way of making your film last forever. 0.1 frames per second. Maybe that's what it was for. It was for the super ultra low budge world. They're like, dude, let's shoot our movie at 1 frame per second. We need to save all the costs we can. They're like, no, 0.1 frames per second. Oh shit. Yeah, man. Tamir's the man. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna try to find that old article. Like Tamir Savan, it was for Sesame Street, I'm almost positive. And red camera, red digital, what else can I put? Tungsten filter. Yeah, I want to show you guys this article because I did it. I used to do it on the Komodo. I wasn't telling you guys I was doing it, but I was doing it. Yeah, see, extracting the best color from your red camera. But you know, honestly, it didn't make sense in the Komodo because Komodo had the new sensor anyways. This is for the old red cameras. And even Probst talks about that. The guy I was telling you about, Probst. Where'd he go? Yeah, this guy, Christopher Probst. So he was even talking about that too. Like that's what he was having issues with. I think he said it was the red channel too. Like if I'm not mistaken, it was the red channel that had issues or something like that. So yeah, look at this, extracting the best color from your red camera. This is from 2013. So this is way back. Okay. The ease of shooting digital is a double-edged sword, blah, blah, blah. You all can read this bullshit. He's talking about the GOAT here, Darius Kanji, bro. So then like down here, you'll see, so here he goes, Tom Wong. Yeah. The rumor on the street is that the Red Epic. So this is back with the Red Epic, guys. He said the word on the street is that the Epic is weak in the skin tones on subjects. And that was true. Okay, everyone's talking about that. Probes talking about, everyone's talking about that. So we set out to look into this problem a bit. It is true that out of camera, the image falls a bit green, but it wasn't just the Epic. It was all red DSMC2. It was all red DSMC2 bodies, in my opinion. And it is true that out of camera, the image falls a bit green. This is the nature of buyer sensor cameras. My F3 was a bit green, and I also feel the F55 is as well, but is much better control. He's talking about Sony cameras. Then there is the Alexa. It's just perfect out of the box. How, why, is different. It's the German magic. Our findings were very interesting. The first thing we did, okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I just want to get to the point of this. So look, as we all know, the digital sensor has a native Kelvin rating. I told you guys, for a red camera, it is 5,000 Kelvin. But you know what? Jeffrey Boyle, the late and great, rest in peace, Jeffrey Boyle. Jeffrey Boyle is the man. You guys know who Jeffrey Boyle is? Jeffrey Boyle's the man. He passed away, but he used to do a lot of like, dude, you want to watch some awesome old school cinematography workshops for free on YouTube? Oh wait, wasn't it Jeff Boyle? Oh, maybe it's just Jeff Boyle. Hold up. I was gonna say, cinematographer, Mutant Chronicles. Check this dude out. Yeah, he died in 2021. Rest in peace, dude. But he did additional photography on Enemy at the Gates. He's old school, right? But man, if you look up Jeff Boyle ASC cinematography workshop on YouTube, he's the GOAT, man. He's got some good ones. But there was one that I was watching where he talks, and they're long too. They're like 2 hours long. And he was talking, because he used to go to different colleges and do them. He was talking about how he came to find out that the native white balance of digital cameras was like 5,500 Kelvin. So see, this was a thing that people used to talk about, right? And so now this guy, Tamir, is here saying that for red cameras, it's 5,000 Kelvin. This is what I've always said, because I used to say that a lot, because I read these articles long ago. So I've always been saying that shit too in my videos and shit. And people be like, what native white balance of a camera? Like, people never heard of that shit. You know what I mean? But it's a digital sensor. They do. Of course they do. Okay. So anyway, so in essence, this is the color temperature where you will achieve full balanced exposure on all 3 channels of color on the sensor, right? Because remember, it's the RGB. So this is why shooting in daylight and under daylight balanced 5,600 Kelvin sources have a tendency of producing better quality images on red than under tungsten lighting. So that's wild too. And that is so true of the DSMC2 bodies. And that's also true why a lot of people were ditching tungsten in the beginning of the digital days. Because they're like, oh, and you know, like when LED came out, there was like a certain there was a certain little army kind of running to LED, and it was all the digital guys, right? Because they knew that like the daylight, because they did daylight for LEDs first, the daylight looks better on those early digital sensors, right? So there you go. And he says by better, I mean slightly cleaner with a more natural color reproduction. You know what I'm saying? That's why all the film guys, the old film heads who didn't want to jump to digital were like, it's crap, because they couldn't shoot it under their favorite lights, which were all hot tungsten lights, because they're old school film heads, bro. So this is how all of that shit got started, dude. This is how all that got started, is because of they couldn't figure out, you know, the digital sensors in the beginning, man. Anyways, this would all be well and good in the perfect world, but the truth is it seems the red chip is more sensitive to certain colors. And this is what Probst was talking about too, and I'm pretty sure he said it was the red chip. Yeah, there it is, particularly red, and it's least sensitive to blue, hence needing blue light or daylight to render colors faithfully. And that's kind of in a lot of all manufacturers in the early digital CMOS sensors, okay? So that said, this seems to cause another problem. There's too much blue. So most daylight sources have color spikes. So HMIs and Kinos are not immune to color shifting. Certainly Kinos. Remember the Kinos? Oh, HMIs do too. Yeah, dude, all those, that's another downside. A lot of the hot lights, they shift hard. And now we kind of still have that with LEDs, depending on if they're old LEDs, right? You go to a rental house, you rent some old ass sky panel, you're like, damn, that shit looks fucking green or something, you know, like, and it's because it has all those runtime hours. It's old LED technology and it kind of shifts. So they all shift. You know, it doesn't matter. It's not just the old hot lights either. Even the LEDs are shifting, dude. And though plasma lights are seeming to be the answer, plasma lights, what the fuck happened to those? Colors thin out a bit, and to get a golden, beautiful skin tone, you need to set your white balance to a Kelvin higher than 5600 to retain it. That's insane, right? Could you imagine like, oh, I need to have a good skin tone. Let me put this bitch on 7000 Kelvin. Okay, so this boosts the red channel, and you get unpleasantness again. Now you have to remember, I'm talking small, tiny shades of color, but small variations are very perceptible by the eye, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is what he came to find out. Okay, oh, this is what it was. Okay, you light tungsten. So he lights with old hot lights, 3200 Kelvin tungsten units, but he uses the ADC filter. That's what it was. I thought he was using a tungsten filter. He was lighting tungsten, so his lights were tungsten, and he put the ADC filter on. But guys, I bought it. I had two different sizes because I was doing this on the Komodo when I was so dumb. I thought like, yeah, this should go be a thing, but it didn't matter because the Komodo sensor was so new. I couldn't see a big enough difference, but maybe it's because I'm fucking colorblind. I should have had Marianne or someone look at it, because this was years ago. Like this is back in 2020 when I first got the Komodo. Like I was just trying to come up with ideas of cool stuff for the Komodo and stuff. So I was really doing this. And anyways, the ADC filter is the blue one. It's a blue filter. So that's why it was gnarly. You'd be lighting with 3200 and then you put this blue filter on your camera. And here he tells you it's a one-stop cut, 3/4 power CTB glass filter on the LEDs. So it's a color temperature blue on the LEDs. So basically what you're doing, right? Basically what you're doing is you are, yeah, oh, and then he says the color temp sits around 4900. I believe we were at 4917. Okay, anyways, 4900. So he's putting at 4900, pretty much damn near to the native white balance, right? And then he's putting the blue filter on, CTB filter. It's a super blue filter. And he's just making it super blue, but then he's lighting it with tungsten light. It looks gnarly. And that's why I thought like, nah, this had to have been a thing that doesn't apply to the Komodo. So that's why like I abandoned it. And I think that's fair to say because these are the old ass sensors, you know, this is super old shit, dude. 3 epics. But yeah, and totally it was fucking, I told you, it was Sesame Street, 100%. I knew it was Sesame Street. Yeah, ADC filter. So I was trying that in the beginning. But for all you guys, you know, fucking dudes like fucking, what's his name? Spencer Sakurai. He needs to be doing that with his old ass helium. 100% I would. Someone needs to send this article. I should DM him this article right now. I'm always fucking with him with his old red camera. I think he hates me. Oh shit. Okay. I know they're outdated, but I love nerding out over the early digital cinema cameras with CCD sensors. So this article is great. Oh yeah. Oh, this isn't CCD sensors, but yeah, the CCD sensors are amazing. Yeah, I don't know if you were here earlier. I was talking about how NASA still uses CCD sensors. We can find that article too. NASA is still using CCD sensors. I had the Leica M8. It's not a video camera, but it's a photo camera and it's wild. Yes, see, NASA continues to use CCD sensors, particularly in space-based applications. despite the dominance of CMOS sensors in terrestrial photography. Check that out, boy. Yeah, but the reason is because it excels in low light conditions and offer better noise performance and quantum efficiency, crucial for capturing faint signals from distant celestial objects. But wait till you see what it takes to run these CCD sensors. Man, I wish I could have kept the article, because this was all when I was working so hard like years ago. I guess it wasn't years ago. What was it, like just a few years ago when I had the Leica M8? But I was gonna try to make this epic video about the unique Leica M8 sensor and be all nerdy, almost like what I did with the Sigma FP. You know, like I was totally going down that route, that old Leica M8 camera. But I was just like, nah, dude, who cares, dude? Just no one cares, bro. Oh, you want to know why? Because then the camera broke and they had to literally replace the sensor. That's why I abandoned the idea. I'm like, oh, good thing that I didn't put that video out first. Oh shit, because I think I was literally the last one to get that CCD sensor replaced, because they don't offer that shit anymore, I don't think. Damn, but anyways, when I was working on that video, like researching, there was an article where it was like, it showed the NASA generators. It showed the generators and like they're just huge. It's like a fucking warehouse. It's a huge space of generators. It's ginormous. It's because the CCD sensors, they just suck so much power. Way more than CMOS. Yeah, see, CCDs will continue to provide a crucial imaging capability for science. Yeah, dude, it's gnarly. So this was my whole thing. Like I was going down a super nerdy rabbit hole, dude. However, many aspects of CCDs remain superior to CMOS: dynamic range, a longer wavelength performance, time delay and integration, electron multiplication, and deep understanding of performance and reliability through decades of study. Dude, come on, dude. I think this last one was a stretch, bro. It's like, bro, do you have a word count or something you're trying to meet? How the fuck are you gonna have that as one of the advantages, dude? No, not just an advantage, an aspect that makes it superior. Deep understanding of performance and reliability through decades of study. Get the fuck out of here, dude. That's not gonna make it superior. Dude, I think we have enough studying and performance to prove behind CMOS sensors. I mean, they dominate the fucking market, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't know. I think that's a bit of a stretch to say it. Deep understanding of the performance. Anyways, you guys can see how I read articles. Super fucking judgmental. Oh shit. Etienne Mary did 12 frames back in 1910. I used a Mui bridge in 1969 just for the fun of it, and it was a remarkable camera for being built in the 1920s. Holy shit. John 2000 is a legend, guys. Guys, give it up for John 2000, dude. This guy always is dropping the pearls up in here, dude. He used a Mui bridge. Now I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about, John. Mui bridge. That's the name of the camera? Oh, dude, this is old school, bro. This is what he's talking about. Wow. Dude, John, you don't fuck around, dude. Edward Muybridge, look at this guy. Look at the creator. This is what you have to look like to like create the beginning of cameras. This is the type of person that created the camera. That's wild, isn't it, dude? You ain't gonna have no dorky ass dude like me. This guy is like fucking Father Time over here, creating the camera. As soon as I saw 600 frames per second and ARRI Corion, the new ARRI, I was like, well, there goes my viability for my Raptor and Raptor X. Oh, you mean like getting it on set for frame rates? Well, yo, what is the frame rate for the Raptor X? Okay, now we're gonna take, cause you know, I feel like, dude, I bet you Red was kind of bummed out that ARRI already claimed the extreme thing like way in the early 2000s. They're probably like, fuck, because Red totally seemed like the company that would be extreme, like have something, the Extreme Raptor X. I mean, it already has a fucking X on it. Red Raptor X. Yeah, let's just see, dude. I don't know anything specs about the Raptor at all. I don't even know the difference between the X and the non-X. What is the difference between the two, bro? What is the difference between the two? Okay, so this one's 8K. Oh, the X. Oh, that's right. The X is VistaVision, right? Isn't that what makes it cool? It's VistaVision. So check this out. Where does it tap out? It's Super 16. Oh. Wait, hold on. 600 frames per second at 2K 2.4. But is that 2.4? So that's not Super 16, right? Or would it? I guess, yeah, it would be because it has to crop in so far on the sensor. So I guess that's still Super 16, 600 frames per second. X has the global shutter. What? I thought they both had the global shutter. The normal Raptor doesn't have the global shutter? Nah, that ain't right, dude. Red Raptor. Are you serious? Why would they not have a... Yeah, no, what are you talking about? Oh, wait, that's the V Raptor X. Hold on, dude. Oh, they don't even sell the... Oh, they don't even sell the normal Raptor anymore? Wait, but that's crazy to me. Why wouldn't... The Raptor came out after the Komodo. Why the fuck would it not have a global shutter? That seems so crazy to me. I have the Sony SRW 9000PL, which shares the same CCD sensor as the F35, and that thing is a beast. I have 2 videos on my page that shows off test footage, one indoor and one outdoor in full sunlight. Oh, you got a channel? Let's see where he's at. James Cookson. Hold up, dude. Let's check this out real quick. We got to give James Cookson some love. I don't see him in here. He's low-key sharing his channel. Okay, dude. James Cookson. That's your same thing, right? Yeah, James Cookson. Okay. Photos from James. All right, dude. All right, James. Is that fucking Jeff Daniels, dude? Looks like Jeff Daniels. Oh, wow. Hold on. Okay, so what are you talking about now? He has the Sony SRW 9000PL. Sony SRW 9000PL. Oh, it's PL mount? Dude, y'all are rocking some crazy shit, dude. This is wild to me. This is the camera you shoot on, bro. Damn, this bitch is still selling for nearly $8 grand. This thing looks wild to me. This is the original Cine Alta, eh? HD X cam. Wow, this one's got a fucking gold plate mount. Yeah, look at that. Look at that mount. This is like this is the original documentary Beast here, or what, James? Yeah, this is a cool one. Yeah, see, this is all before my time, man. I'm too new to the camera world to know about all the cool old cameras. You know what I'm saying? I'm too new to the camera world. I didn't touch a camera until 2017. X has the global shutter, not just the X. But why? That seems so... Why would they have done that? That was a dumb move, eh? Like, the Komodo's already out, and then your next big flagship camera is not going to have, like, the best feature of your baby camera? That just seems weird to me. No wonder they got rid of it. They don't even sell it anymore. They're like, yeah, that was a dumb idea. ARRI should do a commercial with skaters and the devil at the end. What? The devil. Oh, for extreme. Now featuring a 666 frames per second firmware update. 666. You get that extra 6 frames. People will be like, what? Oh my God. Raptor X is sexy. Yeah, Jason, you like looking at it, eh? Just keep it on here for you. Oh yeah, look at that back. Oh yeah, it's got SDI 1 and 2. Not just 1, but 2. Oh shit. Mine was definitely not $8 grand. Well, that's good. Raptor's still good because of weight. ARRI and Venice is still too heavy for me. You think even the ARRI Alexa Mini is too heavy for you? You think this camera's too heavy for you, bro? You think this camera... You own this camera, though, bro. You're literally saying this is too heavy for you when it's all rigged out? Really? How much just does the body weigh? Holy shit, I cannot say that sentence. El Diablo mode, 666 frames per second. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. How much just... Dude, I can't speak that sentence. I don't know why. You know what I'm trying to say, though, right? I just want to know how much just the body weighs. Yeah, I couldn't say that for some reason. That's so crazy. Does it say in here how much it weighs? Or do you know how much it weighs? Yeah, look at that. That's the original global shutter. Well, no, what the fuck am I talking about? They're all like this. That's where they got the idea from, right? Because all film is global shutter, correct? John 2000, where are you at? I guess probably even James would know. I think all of you know the answer to that question, right? Isn't all film technically global shutter? It's always moving. That's what made the global shutter in digital so cool, that we could get closer to like how film is. That's the way I understood it. Maybe that's not correct, but that's what I always thought. I always thought film is global shutter. Yeah, this is classic. Your mind was still thinking about the Raptor X centerfold. Why I couldn't talk? Yeah, I was thinking about SDI 1 and 2. Where is it? Give it back. I run a lightweight rig on mine. It's like 4 pounds bare. What's lightweight? You got a, what do you got? You got like a handle, and then you got the monitor, and then a lens. I think it is. Film is global shutter. That's what I always thought too. Yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, yeah. It would be crazy though to own this camera. Could you imagine you own 2 of these things? What kind of work do you do? Primarily Lixard Swift. What do you you know, like what kind of work are you getting hired to do, or do you rent them? Or if you do both, which benefits you more? Are you renting more than you're working with them, or is it the other way around? Yep, I keep it simple. Film is global shutter because the mechanical shutter, I believe, CCD is also global shutter. Hold up, CCD is also global shutter? CCD is also global shutter. Is that right? Why would it matter what the sensor is? They should all be global shutter, or you don't have a cinema camera. That's what I was saying, John 2000. Yes, dude, thank you. See, that's old. Like he's the old wise man, dude. He's telling us too, and that's what I said too, bro. Like, yeah, man, that was my whole thing. Like, that was my number one thing about the Komodo, is the fact, like, dude, this is why global shutter is so cool. And you know what's weird, guys? It seemed like nobody cared about the global shutter stuff until Sony had their new global shutter in their new A9 camera, whatever it was. Because you want to know how I know that? I know this by an analytical viewpoint. Because when Sony's new global shutter came out, all of my old global shutter videos that I did on the Komodo when the Komodo first came out that didn't really get a whole lot of views, those were all starting to get views again because people were searching that shit because of Sony, right? So isn't that crazy to think, like, wow, you would think like the Komodo was more popular than a fucking Sony camera, but that's having blinders on, bro. That's just being, no, dude. Sony dominates the market, dude. It's so crazy to me to think about that. I actually rent out my X and film on my Raptor for my own stuff now. Unless I need the X, 20 stops of dynamic range with those extended highlights. No way. 20 stops. No way. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, bro. There's no way I will ever believe 20 stops of dynamic range. No way, dude. This is what it's touting. Oh, this is Red shit, dude. This is what fucking Red does, dude. They've always been. So this is the thing. People, and this is like the thing. Isn't this what ARRI and Red always fight about? Because Red always gets away with this, where they say that it, you know, they push it with these modes and all this shit. There was a whole write-up about this. Man, we gotta find it now. There's you guys know what I'm talking about. There was a lot of drama where people were debating like the dynamic range claims of all the Red cameras and shit. I don't know, dude. I don't buy it, but they do it a certain way because they package it. Oh no, I'm getting it confused with the bit stuff. It had more to do with the bit stuff. They were packaging something and saying, they're claiming that it had 2 more bits than what it actually had. Do you know what I'm talking about? 20 advertised stops. Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, I don't think that's actual. There's no way. Remember that old big Ursa global shutter from BMD? Yeah, but you don't even need the Ursa. Do you know which one? Do you know which one has also a global shutter? The original 2K. The Blackmagic 2K camera. The original one, the box one. Wait, what was it called though? Do you know what I'm talking about? It looked like a little TV. It was a global shutter as well. Because John Schweigart, this thing right here, I believe this is global shutter too. These TV looking ones. Schweigart had one of these. Yeah, see? Wait. Yeah, Super 35 global shutter. Yeah, dude, these have global shutter too. These are fucking crazy cameras though. It's just like an old school television is what it reminds me of. The whole back is a screen. Like the whole back of it is the screen. Yeah, look at it. These cameras were wild, dude. This is actually how I got to know John Schweigart back when I was still acting. I didn't know anything. This was always a thing for me as an actor. I was always talking to the DP, hanging out with the DP. And even when I was a stand-in on the bigger movies and stuff, well, then it's my job to hang out with the DP and the gaffer anyways. So now I'm able to like really nerd out with the cameras and shit. But I was always obsessed with it because of skateboarding. You know, when I grew up skateboarding, you always got to have a camera to film your skateboarding shit. But it was Super 8 or whatever, not Super 8, but High 8, what's it called? the video cameras, you know, it's all automatic. So I didn't have to actually learn anything. You just got to learn how to point it, you know? But, so I've always kind of nerded out about cameras, but in my acting days, I always used to talk to DPs. And this is how I first found out about Black Magic and John Schweigart for that matter. We were doing a Hulu. I was in a Hulu, they were trying to pitch it to Hulu. It was a pilot, and I had one of the main characters in it. It was a wild ass show, dude. And the girl from Pitch Perfect was in it. There were some people in it. Honestly, if Hulu would have bought that show, I would not be sitting here talking to you guys right now. I already know that. Like if Hulu would have bought that show, I'd be people would know me. Let's just say that. But it didn't. Hulu didn't buy it, so it was a flop or whatever. But that's just how it goes. But anyways, John Schweigart was the DP of that show, and he shot it on one of these cameras. And I just remember seeing that as an actor and being like, what is that, dude? You know, because at that time, and this would have been back in like 2016, I believe so, like 2016, maybe even
2015.
2015. I guess we filmed that in 2015. And so it was a while ago, you know, but, you know, I'd only ever seen ARRI cameras, red cameras, the occasional film camera, you know, the occasional 35 mil camera as an actor. I'd never seen one of these things. And I was just like, dude, what are we filming this on, bro? You know? And, but I always had a good time, like learning about the cameras and shit with the DPs and shit. But this camera, yeah, global shutter. Long, wow, we went way down a rabbit hole. Yeah, CCD has always been global shutter. The technical reason is that all the pixels record light at the same time and then take longer to process compared to CMOS. CCD has always been global shutter? Well, that's what makes them so badass, I guess. Hey, boss. Oh, shit. Trevor's in the house. Trevor Pinicky. Yo, the A9 is a global shutter, but when you have to shoot at a minimum of over ISO 300, there are very few programs that can bring back the image. Hold up, John. What are you talking about, dude? When you have to shoot at a minimum of over ISO 300, it can't go over ISO 300? Or do you mean 3000? Hold up, bro. You're messing with my brain now. You're saying that the new A9 can't go over ISO 300? Not the new one, right? I'm talking about this $6,400 camera. But yeah, you're right. They all have it. All of them. All the way back to the first one, right? Even the first A9 has global shutter, I believe, right? Does first Sony A9 have global shutter? And if you can't shoot that one above 300 ASA, I believe it. No, the original Sony A9 does not have a global shutter. What the hell? Which one? Wait, no, dude, that's not right, dude. Because the second one had it. The Sony A9 Mark II had it. The A9 III was not the first one to do global shutter, dude. Right? I could have swore all the A9s had global shutter. That was all reason people wanted them. I could have swore. Did I make that up? Weird. I thought all the A9s had global shutter. What the hell? Oh yeah, I have 20 stops at dynamic range too. Just shoot in RAW and raise the shadows in post plus 100 and highlights negative 100. Basically red mentality. It's a pine cone. Oh, dude. No. That's hilarious. The Sony F55 is also global shutter CMOS. No idea why Sony didn't stick with the sensor and make a full frame version. They brought it back, bro, for the A9 Mark III. But I'm almost positive that the A9 Mark II is also global shutter, guys. Because I remember looking at the A9 Mark II for some reason. And I remember people talking about the global shutter. The early BM bodies were just the worst kind of ergonomic tragedy, like Shakespearean level awful. They were wild, weren't they? Just this weird TV. It looked like a TV you'd have in like your trailer. You know what I mean? Like your little travel trailer. You'd have a little TV back there. What you doing, boy? You got your natty light watching your movies? No, it starts at 300. Oh, it starts at 300. Oh, I see what you're saying. What? They don't even have like a low mode? I don't know any, I've never seen any digital camera that doesn't drop down to 100 ISO. Is that real? Dude, what the hell? Why? Why did they do that? Where'd that A9 III go now? I gotta go way back and find it. There it is. I can't believe it's $6,400 though. Guys, why the fuck is this camera so much money, dude? $6,400. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, 24.6 megapixel full frame global shutter sensor. That's so weird. Why did I think that the A9 Mark II had a global shutter? Why is my brain thinking that? Early on, I only shot on Sony. I shot the A7S and the A7S II and an A7R2 to 4, and the color science was trash. Yeah, but that's all changed now, Trevor. Dude, they got a whole new color science. No, no, no. I will not accept any more trash talking about Sony color science. They changed it. They changed it. It's different. I know, and I used to think that too. I never got over it and never bought another Sony. Damn. See, it tainted him forever. I know. That was the main thing that kept me away from it too. But they changed it. I'm telling you. It's different now. It's better. They changed it. I think they changed it in 2015. No, that's too long. No, 2015 it was still trash. What year did they change it? It was changed with a certain camera. And I wish I could remember which one it was. I say the Sony A7. Wait, no, I think it was the A7S III. I think they changed it with the A7S III. I think that's when they changed it. When did the A7S III come out? Because that's when they got their new menu system with the A7S III. Like all the new shit came out with the A7S III 2020. I think that's when it was. I think in 2020 is when they revamped the color science. Because all the cameras after the A7S III, they were all better. And the A7S III was the first one, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's right. $6,400 is way more than can box combo money. Wait, what are you saying, dude? Is way more than Can's box combo money? Camera box combo money? Don't know. You lost me, bro. Sony. Oh no. Now we're back on the A7S III. Yeah, so I believe the color science is fine now. Honestly, I think with I think all the modern cameras, this whole idea of color science, honestly, I don't even care about it anymore, dude. I really don't. If it's newer than 2020, I think you're fine. I think you're good to go at this point. I really do. I don't even care about color science anymore. That's just me though. That's just me. But this is insane. The EVF on this thing is insane. Did you guys read that? 944 million dot EVF with a 240% frame per second refresh rate. That's an insane EVF. That is the craziest EVF. 9.44 million dots. That must be incredible. That's what you're paying for. You're paying for all that shit. Raising Cane's, it's a restaurant. Oh, oh shit, dude. He said it's way more than a Cane's box. Dude, he's talking about Raising Cane's. Oh my God, dude. You must love that chicken, boy. He loves that chicken so much that he just assumes everyone else knows what it is. Yeah, Raising Cane's. Come on, dude. I think I've been there one fucking time. It was good, but they dusted the... I got the hot chicken and they dusted it. It was like full of dust. I'm like, why is it full of dust? I didn't like that shit, dude. But, I guess it's just you learn the lesson the hard way. That's funny, dude. These days, I only have to worry about IR radiation. I'm good. IR radiation? What the hell are you talking about, bro? At this point, any recent camera that can shoot log will do the job just fine. That's how I feel. As long as it can shoot well. And I'm a little bit of a stickler, though. I don't like fucking with 8-bit. But I agree with you there. Log, but for me, it has to be 10-bit log. 8-bit, I don't know, man. I've watched those videos, too, where they're like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But honestly, it does matter. It does matter, bro. It matters when you're not good at color grading. That's when it matters. Because anytime I've had 8-bit footage and I just start doing it, what I do with it, it just instantly just falls apart. I'm like, this is trash, dude. I can't do what I do. But maybe I tend to destroy shit, I do tend to destroy shit. I destroy shit, guys, everything. Straight up. Oh man, I know IR pollution. No, I know what you're talking about. But honestly, nowadays, I don't even think you have to worry about IR pollution, dude. No, that's not true, because the Komodo had IR pollution. Even the Komodo had IR pollution. And nobody wanted to believe me. And I would show them so much footage and be like, dude, look, you could see it. You could see it side by sides. And they'd be like, no, it doesn't. I'm like, okay, dude. Yeah. But I haven't noticed a whole, but you know what? I haven't really done a true IR test for the FX6. I've never done an IR test in the FX6. I've just taken it for granted that ND is perfect and all of that. But maybe I should. I've never tested the IR pollution of the FX6 ND. It's an issue with Blackmagic sensors, 100%. Is it still though? Is it still an issue? I hope they don't have that issue with the new RGB WW sensor, whatever the fuck it is. Let's look that up. You guys had me rolling with that one. Where'd it go now? Yeah, Ursa Cine 12K. Blackmagic's RG. Has this thing come out yet, guys? When does this come out? When does this RGB W12K Blackmagic sensor come out? This is the one they better hope doesn't have crazy IR pollution, because they'll be screwed, dude. You know what I mean? That would be such a bummer, because this does sound cool. I mean, this does sound like a really good idea. But wait a second, what sensors have RGBW? Is there any camera on the market that even has RGBW? Now they're claiming, oh, this is what I talked about last time. This was confusing me. It's like, why are they claiming Blackmagic RGBW? Like, who else already has an RGBW sensor? Am I living under a rock here? Like, I'm so confused. I don't know of any camera on the market right now that already has RGBW sensor. Aren't cameras, oh wait, I love using my FX3 and looks pretty dang good compared to my Reds. Your FX3, bro, you won't believe this. When I sold the right before I got rid of my Komodo, let's see, I sold my Komodo of March last year, I believe. I got rid of it a long time ago. And when I sold it, right before I sold it, I set it up in the old studio. I set it up and I put the FX30 right next to it because they were both Super 35, and I just let them roll. I didn't try to light it at all. I didn't try to light it at all. It was just some bullshit, dude. I was just like, I just want to see what the reality of what these cameras do. And honestly, that's kind of, I don't want it to look good, right? It wasn't to look good. It wasn't for that. It wasn't like I was going to fucking make a YouTube video. It was just for me, you know? Like, I just want to see, like, the reality, the worst of worst situation. I'm sitting in a room, not really lit, not in the way, like, cinematically lit, you know? And just fucking turn them both on. Dude, I shared them in my Discord, and nobody could tell the difference. No one could tell which one was the Komodo and which one was the stupid FX30. No one could tell. And then I said, okay, I don't think I'll feel bad about losing this camera. And I know that's like a really weird way. Like, it's like, dude, it was one fucking screen grab. But yeah, honestly, why? Who cares? And I think, like, I was already, let's be real, I was already going to sell it, right? So that wasn't like why I sold it. Like, I was already going to sell it. But I think for, like, just peace of mind, it's good for me to just know that, like, the reality is, it doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what your camera is. Like, it really doesn't, right? It really doesn't. And I think that's the best demonstration of that, of when you take something that's not lit, you know, and you're just like, right now, what if I put, like, this new ARRI35 XTREME next to this stupid A7C2? This situation right here at a fucking white wall with a fucking white face, you know, like, with a fucking pale shirt. It's like, could you fucking tell? No, you bullshit. You couldn't fucking tell. Well, you could tell because the A7C2 is actually full frame. Oh shit. Oh shit. No. No, but still, like, that's the only way to be able to tell. Honestly, I believe that. I believe that. Now, maybe that's not 100% true, because you'd be like, no, the skin tones, you can tell the skin tones. Maybe. Then maybe. If your argument is skin tones, okay, you got me. Take me to jail, officer. You got me. Aren't cameras, okay, what's he talking about? Aren't cameras like this kind of blurring the line between what is photography and videography? From what I am hearing, the newest high-end mirrorless basically shoot photos at video rate. Faster, bro. Some of them shoot way faster than video rate. Like, watch the frames per second on this thing. Up to 100 frames per second, continuous shooting with AF and AE. It's doing everything for you. You don't have to focus. You don't have to expose. It's running. Like, dude, you could do race cars. You could do race cars. Actually, you know the little pocket camera I have, the RX100 Mark 7, the little tiny pocket camera with the little built-in zoom on it? When that thing first came out, it was called the miniature A9. It was called the pocket-sized A9, because even that little camera shoots 20 frames per second. And when the guy from Sony went and demoed that camera before it came out, he took it to a fucking race course, and he's shooting race cars with that little baby pocket camera, because it's got the 24-200 equivalent. Dude, I saw that video. I'm like, bro, I gotta get that camera, dude. I mean, you know, because it's like, that kind of shit is just like so novel, you know, so I get it. But yeah, maybe they're blurring the line, but that's how it goes, dude. That's just why I say the technology is insane. Look at this shit. 4K 120 10-bit video, S-Log 3. Wow, dude, that's insane, dude. 8.5. I guess that's why. Look at this, 8-stop 5-axis in-body IBIS. I mean, I guess that's why it's a fucking $6,400 camera. It's just crazy. You go, wow, $6,400. Like, that's like, you could buy 3 Komodos. Nowadays, you could buy 3 Komodos with that. That's mind blown, dude. You know what I mean? You're just like, wow, dude, that's crazy. Well, maybe not. Well, maybe not 3, but aren't they like $2,000 nowadays? Isn't the red Komodo like $2,000, like the OG? I swear to God, it's like $2,000. Well, no, okay. Okay, so you get 2. You get 2 Komodos. All right, chill out, chill. You get 2 Komodos. But the reality is you could get one Komodo fully kitted out to your heart's desire, you know, or you get the A9 Mark III. I don't know, guys. I think I would get that. Oh, but it's the OG Komodo. God, I hate the OG Komodo. I'm just jealous of the new one. I really love the new one mainly because honestly, yeah, I get it. I get all the Nikon heads why they love it, because now I do imagine, is anybody doing this yet? Is anybody making videos like testing the autofocus of the Komodo X with the new Nikon AF lenses that they're putting out? They're making all these new Nikon lenses. Like, they got to be updating the AF technology in these Komodos, right? Or they're probably not. They probably abandoned this shit. Like I said from the beginning, they abandoned this shit that says red on it. And whatever they got coming out that says Nikon on it with the red badge, it's like Nikon red collab, right? Like that Supreme shit that Supreme does every time they collab with someone. They put an X in the middle. Just like, then ARRI be like, oh, fuck, they're copying us, man. They took our fucking X, these fucking assholes. Anyways, yeah, I would not be surprised if that's what they're doing. Damn, now I lost my, dude, look at all these tabs. This is like when I was in college, drunk, Facebook messaging everybody. For some reason, when I would get wasted in college, I would get on Facebook Messenger, and each person I was messaging would have their own tab. And I would just bounce from tab to tab, just drunk texting everybody. Oh my God, dude. Good thing we don't do that anymore. But we still do this horrible tab thing. Okay, but yeah, I mean, is anybody making videos about that, guys? Is anybody like, I'm sure that's got to be a thing, right? Like people testing the autofocus of the new Nikon lenses with the Komodo X, but I haven't seen anyone talking about the Komodo X. Zilch. I don't see anyone talking about the Komodo X, honestly. Do you guys see anybody talking about the Komodo X anymore? That's why I was just like, I've just been silently stalking Facebook Marketplace for the Komodo X, because I'm like, it's got to drop. People have got to be starting to get rid of this thing. I don't know. This guy's still doing it. Kyle Meshna. Yeah, I've seen his videos before. Finally for Sony shooters. What is he talking about? Oh, because Nikon, you can put Sony lenses on Nikon. Oh, that's right. Hey, he's probably doing some cool videos then. I forgot that that was a thing. Yeah, they make Sony autofocus adapters for Nikon mount. That's a thing. I forgot about, dude, I got to get rid of some of these tabs. This is driving me nuts, bro. Here it is. That's right. You can put Sony lenses. Oh, I remember. That's right. Because people were telling me about that. I think even in a live stream, you guys were fucking yelling that at me. Yeah, you're right. See, I forget about all that stuff. But honestly, I think they got something cooking up in the kitchen. I really think they do. They got something wild they're cooking up. I already know it. I mean, I don't know it, but I would predict it, dude. True 8-bits break so easily. It's always the sky. The sky is the first thing to go with 8-bit. It's always the first flat. It's like, oh, dude, this is trash, bro. Yeah, I'm with James on this one. GH5 still holds up 100% in 2025 with its 10-bit log, and that was 2017. Yeah, I used to own GH5, GH4, G85, GX85. I used to love those Lumix cameras, dude. FX9, FX6 prices have dropped enough to where it's tempting. I've never shot on Sony though. What are you shooting on now, Jason? Aren't you shooting on Red too? Jason Morbies said he's never shot on Sony. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it. You're just gonna get hooked. It's a devil's crack, dude. I'm telling you, bro. Yeah, that Pixis 12K should be shipping. Hold up, what'd he say? Hold up, guy. Where'd I go? Oh, he took it away already? Oh yeah, that Pixis 12K should be shipping soon. Looking forward to seeing everyone's videos on that BM RGBW sensor. Oh, Jason McCam says they'll be shipping it soon. Whoa, I'm gonna rent one. I always say this. I always tell Marianne this too. Every time a new camera comes out, I go, oh yeah, I'm gonna rent it, and I'll have the craziest review, and I'll talk shit. But I never rent. I never end up renting any of the cameras I say I'm gonna rent. No, I did it with the 6K. I did it with the Blackmagic 6K when it first came out, the 6K Pocket. That's the one time where I did it, and then I kind of abandoned that idea. But I think I will. I think this one I should rent, but we should shoot something cool on it. I think if I rent this camera, I wanna have something ready. Fuck, you said they're shipping soon. I gotta start writing now. I gotta write just some little sketch or something, and then I'll want to like direct it and act it. So I'll have to hire someone to shoot it for me. But then like I gotta like be I'm super. You guys already know I'm super hands on. so that way I can like see everything going on with the camera and shit. Look at what it says. It comes with 8 terabytes of storage and has integrated 10 gigabit network connectivity. On top of that, it has a 6 millisecond shutter readout in 8K mode. It can shoot up to 224 frames per second, has internal ND. That's where it makes you nervous, bro, with that IR pollution now. And it costs under $15,000. 6 millisecond shutter readout. Hold up. Has Cine D verified this? Have they verified that? They don't have the link. I don't think they've actually tested that. Because anytime in any Cine D article that I've ever read, anytime they talk about shutter readout, there's always a link. It's a hyperlink. There's no link here. I don't think they've tested this yet. 6 millisecond? That's insane, dude. That's insane. Let's see lab test. Let's see if it's in here. 6 milliseconds. Nah, dude, it ain't even in here yet. They haven't gotten their hands on it yet. Oh, wait, what's this? Is that it right there? No, that's... Wait, that's not it, is it? 2024. No, that's not it. That's the Ursus. That's the first 12K. Yeah, they haven't been able to test it yet. Dude, are you sure they're going to ship that soon? The Borgies, who's shooting 8-bit? That's like no color depth at all. Or no, we were talking about it earlier, though. Someone brought it up. Like, it seems the only real difference between photo and video on something like an A9 is the difference between picking continuous shooting. Oh, what the hell am I doing? Picking continuous shooting and single shot. So why not always just take video? Oh, dude, are you one of these guys, auto teleology? Are you one of these guys that's like, just pull the stills from the video? No, dude, that's a horrible plan. And also, dude, man, there's no honor in that, bro. There's no honor in that. Let's see. I had the Nikon D780 for a short period, and it's Nikon's only DSLR that can shoot 10-bit and log, and the image quality is more than enough for most needs. I don't think that's true anymore, James Cookson. I don't think it's... Oh, it's only DSLR. Oh, I got you. It's only DSLR. Oh, yeah, you're old school. Yeah, that's right. Damn, that's probably... Yeah, that's crazy. This is the ISO performance for the A9 Mark II and the A9 Mark III. Photo native in manual mode, 250. Okay. Yeah, see, it extends to 125. Native in auto mode, 250. Native in manual mode. Oh, okay. So it only goes down to 250. And it's not a good performance, John? Is that what you're saying? He says, I confess that I already done some commercial for TV and 8-bit. I know you did, dude. People still shooting 8-bit. I mean, realistically, like, how many bits is film? You know, seriously. $400 for a DSLR? Ain't no way, body. I'm a fanboy of the form factor, but over 6K is nonsense. I know, that's what I was thinking too, dude. That's exactly why I said, like, nah, I would... Dude, for just a little bit more money, you could have one of these. I'm the guy at the mall. For just a little... Come over to our side. Look what we got. You want to taste test one of these? For just a little bit more money. Look it up, Justin. You're on a bloody computer. Just search Komodo AF. What are you talking about? What do you mean Komodo? Oh, yeah, that's what I did. I'm way behind on the chat. Yeah, that's how we found Kyle Mashna here. Yeah, he's probably doing some cool videos, dude. Well, look, it's got 17,000 views. Yeah, I think I've seen his videos before, actually. Yo, I'm getting more firmware updates since the Red Nikon merge than I did when it was just Red. Damn. I've owned the KX from Pretty Early. I love my KX. Yeah, he's got a KX. I know. I'm super jealous of the KX. It has everything that I wanted my OG to have. Honestly, it does. It's everything I wanted the OG to be. It really is. It's like, I jumped the gate too soon. You know, like, I got excited. It was COVID. Everyone got excited about the OG Komodo. You get excited. You're like, yes, this is the one. And then you're like, dude, for me, it was just like, everything was just so costly. You know, honestly, I was not in a position quite yet to be dropping that much money on a camera back then, because back then in 2020, dude, it was 7 G's just for the fucking... But I know, you didn't have to buy the white one. I know, okay. But I bought that white one, you know, because you're excited. So it was 7 G's just for the body, you know? And then everything on top of it. But I will say this. Honestly, I was booking work with that Komodo. So in the long run, I don't regret it. Because, yeah, people loved that camera. In the beginning, I was doing a bunch of stuff. A bunch of commercials, honestly, were hip to the Komodo and stuff. So people wanted the Komodo. But it didn't last long. I feel like it only lasted a couple years. And then next thing I know, everybody wanted to rent Sony. You don't have Sony? You don't have Sony? Nah. Well, we can rent one. Nah, they want to get a package deal. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, shit, dude. But that's not why I sold the Komodo. I don't really care about that. But it really ultimately just came down to like, I could see the writing on the wall. Isn't that crazy? I totally could, guys. I totally could. I mean, I'm glad I did when I did, because if not, dude, you're not gonna get anywhere. I got what, like, I got like, what, 5Gs or something? You would never get 5Gs nowadays for the OG Komodo. You can go on Facebook Marketplace right now. You can go on eBay right now and just see all these Komodos just sitting, the OG Komodo. You got to drop them so low to sell them because they're $3,000 new. Look, these all just sit, dude. It's like, no one, like, who cares? Like, look, this guy thinks he's gonna get 45 for this. It's like, dude, you're out of your mind. You know, it's like, so luckily I ditched it when I did, because, dude, they just like, and then after the merger, dude, that price just fucking plummeted, dude. But honestly, that X, that was the one I think that's the way to go, man. Because yeah, perfect locking mount, absolutely love that. The IO, the fucking built-in adapter plate. This is the best part. The adapter plate is the best part. Not to mention the newer media. Just everything about it, everything newer. I would put an elbow antenna on this though. I don't like how it sticks straight out. That's weird to me. Like, but I guess it doesn't matter. Once you have the V-mount battery on there, it's gonna be flush. The V-mount probably, yeah, what am I talking about? The V-mount sticks out way more than this stupid little antenna. So yeah, it's cool, man. Yeah, I think this was the way to go, but I am excited to see. I'm more excited to see what the next generation of this looks like. You know what I'm saying? Now that Nikon is really in there, that's what I'm saying they're cooking up. That's why I feel like they don't care. And I think it's only a matter of time until the price of this bad boy starts dropping big time too. You know what I'm saying? And man, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but nah, you still got it. They still don't have the ND situation fixed. It's hard to leave that. It's hard to leave the internal ND. It really is. Anyways, I'm just going down a rabbit hole now. Anyways, yeah, dude, I'm stoked that you have the KXO, Jason. Oh yeah, he said, I was going to ask about that too. Why would someone shooting on red want to use Nikon Z lenses over RF lenses? I don't get the use case. Exactly. The biggest pain in the ass about Nikon, is it focuses the wrong way. Dude, I hate that. It focuses the wrong way. Dude, when I was first learning how to manually pull focus, that's what was fucking me up. Because I had those stupid Zeiss Milvis lenses, and the Zeiss Milvises, they were the ZF ones, so I could have the physical aperture ring. So I was learning how to pull focus backwards. And then I get different lenses, and I'm like, fuck. Now I gotta relearn how to fucking manually pull focus. It was just like a mind switch, you know? It was like, oh, dude, I hate that. Yeah, they're never gonna change that. They're never gonna change that. I don't know. Maybe they would. I don't think they would though. Like, but I don't know. I just don't think they will do that. I think they have to change the whole mount or some shit. Maybe not though. The Cook SP3 with RF mount is tempting on my KX. You mean that you might invest in some Cook SP3s? Dude, I don't care what camera they're on. Those are my dream lenses. These are my dream lenses. I don't care what camera they're on. I absolutely want these so bad, but it's never going to happen. I would have to start buying them one at a time. You know what I'm saying? You'd have to start getting these. And you know what you start with? Don't even play around, dude. You already know the one you start with. You start with the 32. Ooh, why? Why, Justin? Oh, man, because it's the GOAT's favorite focal length, dude. This is Roger Deacon's focal length. I know. I'm such a stickler, dude. But no, seriously, 32 mil? I love that. I would much rather have 32 than fucking 50 mil. No, thank you. Come back tomorrow, Mr. Generic. 25 is pretty wild. Now, for you guys, for you wide heads, you like, no, dude, 25. I don't know, dude. It's just a tad too wide for me. It's just a tad too wide for me. But 32, if that's what they got, yeah, I'll take the 32, bro. All day, every day. I would start with the 32, and then in 5 more months, when I get more money saved up, then I would get the 75. And I would rock forever with just those 2 lenses. I might still do that. I might still do that, guys. But I'm going to have to sell way more shit. Way more shit. That 6 milliseconds is the Ursus Cine 12K. The new Pixis is double that speed. Oh, that's right. Then why the fuck did they put it in? Why was it in the article, though? That was Cine D's article for the new RGBW sensor. Or they're just referring to the old one. They're just referring to the old one. And I got it confused with the new one. That's right. I do remember people talking about that. It was double the the readout speed. I remember that now. I'm not saying you should. I just don't know why it isn't the way to go. Is the quality not equivalent? No. No, people, dude, Nikon shooters, they are Nikon till the day they die. And Canon is the same stupid way. Like Canon diehards are Canon diehards, and Nikon diehards are like that's just the way it goes, dude. That's just the way it goes. Me, I've never really cared. The only reason I've ever chosen, like for instance, in terms of the Zeiss Milvises, right, or the Zeiss Classics, the ZEs, the ZFs, the only reason I was getting the Nikon ones is because those had physical aperture rings. And for whatever god-awful reason, whenever Zeiss would make lenses for Canon, Canon didn't want physical aperture rings on their lenses. So you could only change the aperture electronically. It's like, it's not ideal for like, and ever, I don't know, ever. Why would you ever want to only control iris in camera? I don't care, like whether I'm doing photo or video. No, dude, give me a physical aperture ring. Like that's how you do it. So that's the only reason why I was buying the Nikon version. But I don't think, no, like you, and there's zero difference between a Zeiss Milvis Nikon mount and a Zeiss Milvis Canon mount other than that physical aperture ring. In terms of the way those lenses look, nah, dude, the glass is identical. The mounts have nothing to do with it. Now, in terms of Nikon glass versus Canon glass, dude, who cares? Who cares? It's all autofocus glass to me, right? Like, I feel the same way about Nikon and Canon glass, the same way I feel about these Sony Zooms, right? Like the Sony Zooms, like who cares? It's Sony glass. Who cares? Like I don't get excited about any of the modern glass. I don't care who's making it. It doesn't excite me at all. But I think for the people like, right, so the Canon glass guys, they also shoot Canon cameras, right? And that's like all the guys that love the Sony G Masters. Well, yeah, because they're shooting Sony cameras. They like it to be like, they want it all to be perfect and connect and everything works super fast that way. It's guys that really lean on the autofocus, and then the autofocus is the best performing because it's the Sony lens with the Sony camera, or Nikon lens with a Nikon camera, or whatever the fuck it is, right? So it's like diehards like that. But reality is, it's like, who cares? You know, like I don't, you know, all that glass looks the same to me. And here's some really mind-blowing shit for you, because this is another thing, guys. Do you guys know about the new Simod Cine lenses coming out? Dude, Ron is coming to LA, and we're doing a video together. So this is a new thing. These Apsara lenses. I don't know how to say it. I forget how he pronounced it on the phone. Yeah, dude. Ron called me. We talked on the phone for like, I don't know, maybe like 45 minutes. And but dude, real talk. When he's in the video, because we're gonna shoot something, and then we're gonna like have a little sit down, and but he already told me that a lot of he told me about 90, huh? Well, I was just gonna say, like, a lot of the glass is coming from like the same 3 sources. That's what I was gonna. I wasn't gonna. I'm not gonna spill right now like what those sources are. I'm gonna see if Ron wants to reveal that information in the video. But when you hear where it's coming from, it's, for me anyways, maybe all you guys already know where it's coming from. I didn't know because I don't really follow that, but it did solidify a lot of things in my brain why I always say that the DZOs and the Mica lenses and the Nisi lenses, they all look so similar to me for the most part. It all started making sense, right? Where like, and it's not just those Chinese companies. It's all the companies, even Zeiss. It's all the glass companies. They're all getting their glass. They're the literal glass. There's only like 3 sources in the whole world. And one of those sources will blow your fucking mind, dude. At least it blew mine. But I'll see if he wants to review. And the only reason why he knows that is because he just fucking made these things, right? He just made his own, these Apsaras. So these are going to be rad, dude. So he's bringing some to LA. We're going to shoot on them. We're going to see what they're all about. I don't know which ones. Maybe he's bringing both. It'd be rad if he brings both sets, because see, there's 2 different ones. There's the Lumières, and then there's the Prestige. But notice the Lumières are 1.4 and the Prestige are only T2. But the Prestige have the ability to do macro because they're cine lenses, they're PL. These ones are for modern mirrorless mount. The Lumières are for modern Nikon RF, Leica L, and Sony E. But then the Prestige are PL. So they're only like $100 more for the PL. But look, they have macro capabilities, but they're a little bit slower. So that's the only thing that's like, damn, but I do love me some PL lenses, just in terms of like being able to use on any camera literally ever. Right? That's the only reason, like PL is only, and you know, obviously it's a way solid mount, but now with all the cameras making locking mounts, it's like, well, a lot of cameras are doing locking mounts now, but man, PL is just so universal, you know? So I don't know. We'll see what he brings to town and we'll see what happens, but I don't know. Have you guys know anything about these lenses? There's footage of them on tier. We never did a live stream on these, did we? It don't matter. It's probably because I'm gonna do a full video. I'm gonna shoot my own footage with these, so it doesn't really matter, but it'll probably suck anyways, but you know, it doesn't matter. Like it's not like we have a huge budget to shoot something crazy. We're just gonna probably like, you know, do something really chill, but you know, try to take it somewhere cool. Try to take it somewhere cool. I don't know. I mean, if I can work a miracle, maybe we could shoot a scene or a sketch or something with them, but I don't know. I would rather just kind of shoot some documentary style shit just to really see what they do. But look, these are wild. You put a battery in them because they light up. This is gnarly, dude. Look, they light up at night. It's kind of weird, right? So, but the PL ones don't do that. The PL mount doesn't do this. This is only for the mirrorless ones. The light up feature. All of the high end film scanners for cinema is 16-bit, so we'll say film is 16-bit. Hey, that's a really good point, actually. Yeah, I was curious about that. So is it over for Kinfinity? Did they squander their buzz? I never hear anyone even mention them now. Kinfinity? Fuck no. No, I don't know. I never cared about those cameras. I never cared about Kinfinity. Is anyone still making videos on them? Let's see if anybody's still doing videos on Kinfinity. The Mavo Edge. 1 year ago, 3 years ago, Gerald talking about them. But see, this is all, yeah, nothing very relevant, nothing new. I mean, a year ago is too old. Yeah, I remember Joshua was doing a lot of stuff on them. 6 months ago, he's still rocking it. The Kinfinity Eagle HDMI EVF. Oh, works with any mirrorless camera. He's just using the EVF, so he's bringing it to his Fuji camera. Yeah, so nobody's really using them anymore, dude. Not in YouTube land. But what's YouTube land? Fucking 6 people. COVID did things to ruin camera prices, and now we have 15% tariff doing the same thing even for Japanese products. Yeah, it's horrible. Dude, even my uncle today, my uncle was like saying the fucking, he couldn't even buy a washing machine because like the price was all jacked up on the washing machine. I'm like, dude, you can't buy shit right now, dude. Oh, man. What the fuck? Auto teleology? Pulling stills from video will get you crap photos. Photography is actually an art, not an accident. Yeah, I'm 100% with you there, bro. 100%. Hey, mate, what hair products are you using tonight? That shine on your hair is popping on my 5K screen. Keep up the great work. It's called Don't Wash Your Hair Ever. Dude, I stopped washing my hair. It was back on the Johnny Harrison video we watched. That was still Johnny Harris. When did we watch that video? That was like maybe like, no, it was like we were here. It was like last summer. Oh, I didn't start doing it till like we came here. So I don't think I've washed my hair in like 8 months. But the trick is you just clean it. Yeah, you clean it, but you clean it with this stuff called it's like a special conditioning cream. It's a conditioning cream. A cleansing creme. I only use a cleansing creme for my waft. Thank you for noticing, Stuart. That's hilarious, dude. Oh man. Just stay in photo mode for stills. You get open gate no matter the sensor size, 14-bit readout and global shutter. Yeah, dude, and plus, man, I'm old school, dude. I just shot a roll of the new Kentmere Pan 200 today. So, but guys, no more. There's gonna be no more photo stuff on my channel. I've finally severed the tie. I've had enough people, you know, I've seen the numbers enough. So yeah, this channel is strictly video now because the other channel is slowly growing. My other channel, guys, if you're into specifically street photography, but honestly, probably all photography stuff is gonna be over there now. It's my other channel. It's the Freeway Life. We got 311 subscribers right now. Yeah, 311 subs. The Freeway Life. It's just me in the chair here. This is where all my, and I've been posting stuff here. So we have like 5 full-length videos over there, but I've been doing a lot of shorts. There's a lot of shorts over there. I did a little sketch over there. So I'm kind of, you know, it's all things photography, a lot of film photography. So that just to plug that. He's actually a photographer primarily, so you don't have to tell me that. I just want to understand the limitations of using tools different ways for the best result. I wouldn't worry about it nowadays, bro. Again, if your camera is from 2020 and newer, I think you are up to date, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Hell yeah, I'm going to start with the 32 mil if I invest in the Cook SP3. That's what I think too. What would your third be in the set? I want the 18, 32, 50, and 75. Nah, dude. What? Nah, hold up. Jason, bro, Jason. Why would you care about the 50 if you're already getting the 75? Now, see, to me, that's redundant. It's redundant to have both the 75 and the 50. It just is to me. And I know because in my world of photography, I only shoot 3 lenses. The 40, as you can see, the 40 lives on here. And then I have the 75 and then a 28. That's all you ever need. That's all you ever need. But that's in the world of stills, in my opinion. But here, I will say this though, 28, when it comes to events, and I'm shooting events like street photo style, I am finding where 28 isn't quite wide enough for me. But I will get closer than what I am to the camera right now. I get fucking close to people. And 28 will sometimes chop it not the way I like it. So I think what I'm leaning towards, I want to swap my 28 for a 25, just get a little bit more. And also what that does for me is because I do zone focusing, I'll just get a little bit more depth of field the wider I go, so I am thinking about that too. But in the world of cinematography on full frame, and that's the thing with the photography, but I'm getting super close. I'm getting way closer. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe my cinematography work, maybe I should be getting closer with my cinematography work too. Damn, maybe I should. Maybe that would make me better, huh? Because I noticed that in street documentary shooting events and stuff, I like to get super close, and the 28 is just not quite wide enough. Anyways, I don't know why I started talking about that, but the 75 and the 50 are just way too redundant for me. For me, they're way too redundant. So my first one would be the 32, then I would get the 75. And then you really only have 2 options. This is without the 18. I don't know, dude. The 18 for full frame? Oof. No, I don't need that. I don't need 18 on full frame. It's crazy wide. Oh, do you want to see a shot? I can show you a shot that I did in a pilot that I DP'd. I can only show you this one shot, and I just thought of it because it was an 18 mil. Because I was about to say I'd never go that wide, but we literally just went that wide. I think I shot this pilot in March, right? So I'll show you this pilot. There's one shot from it specifically. I'm having trouble with my S's tonight. And so I'll show you this. Let me get to it. By the way, I've been breaking this down on the Patreon for all the diehard fans. That's where I break down all the work I do, guys. I do it on the Patreon because, like, when I first started doing YouTube back in 2019, I tried to break down the work I do on my YouTube channel, and I lost a lot of clients that way because they're like, why the fuck are you sharing this? And I think it's not because I wasn't allowed to share it, but they were more talking about, why are you sharing these? Like, why are you having these thoughts, and why are you saying these thoughts out loud? Do you know what I'm saying? But I think the problem is like, when you're like, people are very sensitive about their projects, but they don't realize, like, I'm talking shit about my own cinematography. I'm talking about how I can improve my job the next time. But the people, they get really precious about their projects, so that's why I don't put it publicly on the YouTube channel anymore. And I just keep it for the Patreon, and it's very low key, so that's the main reason why I don't really share the work that I do, because I'm very honest and critical of myself. I'm really hypercritical of the work I do, and clients just got really sensitive about it, dude, because they were taking it personal to their project when it's like, dude.
Plus, they don't want to hear that something they paid for. The person's like, that thing I made for them sucks.
Oh yeah, they don't. Yeah, Marianne was saying that they don't like hearing the person they hired talk about how bad they hate it. But that's not their fault. That's not their fault. It doesn't matter.
It's like buying a painting.
Buying a painting.
And then hearing the painter make a video talking about how bad that painting was, and you're like, well,
damn,
not that painting.
I never thought about it like that. So I don't know if you guys could hear Marianne, but she was saying how it's the equivalent of if you bought a painting from a painter, and then the painter puts out a video talking about how much he hates the painting. And it's like, damn, I never thought about it like that at all. I guess that explains why a lot of people have to like praise their own work, but I'm just not that type of dude. I don't care if it won a fucking Academy Award. I'm not the type of dude that could be like, this is how we did, like, look how fucking badass. Like, I just like, I don't know, dude. I'm just way too fucking critical. But so this is the 18 mil. This is the Milvis. So on this show, because it was very low budget, we did the Sony FX6. I'm going to tell you guys right now, the workhorse lens on this show was the 40 mil Nisi, right? Because I was still rocking the Nisi Athenas. So I only have the 40 mil and the 85. So then for the wides, I was using the 28 Leica R, because the Leica R does kind of match the Nisis, but honestly, the Leicas have more contrast, believe it or not. But my Leica R is minty. It's beautiful. It's CLA'd. It's beautiful. And it has, that Leica R from the 1970s has more contrast than the Nisi Athenas, which is mind blown. And then this is a Milvis. But I took a lot of the contrast out of this because the Milvis is super contrasty and I dialed a lot of it out. But this is like ultra wide. Dude, look how wide this shot is. And it's kind of dorky. Oh, dude, no, I'm revealing. I'm showing too much now. No, everybody close your eyes. Close your fucking eyes. No. Okay, so it's a dorky shot too. And this is how it starts. It's so dorky. And they're like behind the thing. And then he swings this open and he walks up into the McMansion. It's a McMansion in the valley. You know how we do out here. It's LA, baby. But yeah. But this isn't bad for the FX6. Notice the clouds back there. You can see the clouds, dude. And then you can still kind of retain this a little bit. There's a lot of grain on this though. Anyways, that's enough. That's enough of that. Just because I don't know. I don't know like how much I'm allowed to even show of that show or anything about it. Oh, dude, did I kill all my tabs? No, here they are. Okay. So yeah, because of that, but you saw how gnarly wide that was. That's why I don't care about the 18. I could have done that shot on the 28, and honestly, I think it would have looked better. I think it would have looked better to have shot that on the 28, honestly. So that's why I say 25 is more than enough. That's just me, though. And that's a nice set, dude. 25, 32, 75? Hell yeah. But nah, 50 and 75, too redundant. They look almost the same. You know, and what's the point? Like 75 is so you can have that mid-long shot. I love the 75. It looks good on faces, too. That's really why. The 75 looks so good on faces. 50, I've never been a fan of the 50 mil lens. That's why I love 40 so much. I don't know what it is, dude. Maybe I'm just like, I don't know. I couldn't tell you why. I couldn't tell you why I stay away from the 50. But honestly, besides just my own disdain towards a 50 mil focal length, I still believe, like, even if I love the 50 mil, I still believe the 75 and the 50 are way too close. They're just too close, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. This is just a preference thing, but I'm not a massive fan of so much commercial narrative work using 25 mil, unless your name is like Wes Anderson. And that's the thing too, why I avoid, I think that's why I avoid such wide focal lengths in the low budget narrative world, because I always tell everybody this, like the wider you go, dude, the more you're going to reveal how low your budget really is. You know what I mean? Especially if you're in a little shitty location and you fucking got something on ShareGrid or something. You're like, dude, this location sucks. We don't have a production designer. And now you want to shoot on a fucking 20 mil? No, dude. Like it's like, and you don't have it takes more lighting control, all of that. The wider you go, you're always going to reveal how shitty your budget is. That's, you know, that's why it's reserved for the big dogs. Unless your name is fucking Chivo, right? And like, you know, someone that really knows how to work with natural light, and you have a team to help you do that, and you have the budget, like on that fucking movie they did, they only shot like golden hour. Like they would only shoot that like a whole portion of the movie was only shot during golden hour. Do you know that's like fucking 2 hours a day, dude? Like who has the budget to do that? It would take you so long. And I think that movie was like 3 hours long. You know the movie I'm talking about, Tree of Life or whatever? The fucking Brad Pitt, Chivo movie? I think it was called Tree of Life, wasn't it? Or something weird like that. Or was it called Boyhood or some shit? No, it's Tree of Life. Yeah, this movie, the Terrence Malick movie. This movie's so long, dude. 100, well, I guess it's not that long. Why did I just feel like it felt long. It felt like it was a long movie, dude. It felt like it was dragging. But the cinematography is amazing. But yeah, there was so much of this movie that they only shot during golden hour. And that takes a huge budget to do that. You can't do that on the little tiny shit I'm shooting. It would take you forever. What's all these shitty photos, dude? Look, this is what Shot Deck is doing. Shot Deck is controlling, like, dude, you used to be able to go to IMDb. Oh no, here we go. Okay. I was about to say, I was about to start a bad rumor. I do feel like Shot Deck is like kind of putting the clamp on sharing grabs from movies and shit though. Yeah, this movie's so bizarre, dude. It starts in like space and shit. It's basically like the whole story of the world from like the birth of the planet to like the end. It's fucking weird, dude. And I think Sean Penn's God or something. I don't understand this movie at all, dude. I don't understand anything Terrence Malick has ever done. But I mean, here's a prime example. Golden Hour. Shooting into the sun. Brad Pitt. Do it. Yeah, dude. You guys know about this, right? You know about the Bible. You know about Terrence Malick and Chivo's Bible. You know about that, right? Terrence Malick and Chivo's shooting Bible. They had like a whole set of rules for this movie. That's the movie it comes from. It literally comes from Tree of Life. There used to be I used to have a picture of it where it's like literally written. Back in the day, there was a picture of it where you could read it. You could read their handwriting. There was one in there, either Terrence Malick or Chivo's. And it was like their shooting Bible. You can find it. It's on there somewhere. But that's the movie that spawned that shit. It was, where'd it go now? Here, Tree of Life. This is the movie why they had the shooting Bible. And then everybody tried copying. Look how little Ty Sheridan is. Look how little he is. This movie's old now, huh? 2011. Yeah, dude, Sean Penn. Movie's nuts. But that's where that whole idea comes from. The golden hour. Like so many iconic shots have been ripped off from this movie. And it hasn't changed. 2011, this movie changed the way all cinematography looked on Vimeo forever. Like every Vimeo video after this movie came out was wanting to be this. Look, you know, like all this shot. Every YouTuber, even now, this is it. Like this set the new standard. This movie set the new standard for how all of our work looks. It really did. I think so anyways. Was there a movie before this that did all these like crazy iconic wide, low, golden hour shots? I don't know of any movie that was so primarily like looked this way before this movie. But after this movie, they all fucking look this way. And they still look this way. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's Chivo. That's why he is the greatest of all time. Because he set the new standard. Like literally, quite literally, he set the new way how we work, how we shoot, how we create. He totally did. He totally did. This has been copied time and time and time again. Still to this day. And this came out in 2011. This is the beginning. You know what I'm saying? This is where we're all trying to get. It's crazy to me to think about that. It really is. Wait. This is just a preference thing, but I'm not a massive fan of so much commercial. Oh yeah, we just said that. Speaking of Simod and Cook, they have some adapters that I need to use with the SP3 and Mapbox. Why? Why would you need to use an adapter with the Mapbox? Are they not 80 mil fronts? Did they fuck these up, dude? Did they mess these up, bro? How could you not have 80 mil fronts on these? What are you saying to me, dude? Are you seriously telling me these are not 80 mil fronts? Here it is. A common 64. What? A common 64 mil front diameter and M58 filter size across the series enables quick lens changes and work with the matte box and adapters. Who in what world is a common front diameter 64 mil? Is that like a Cook thing? I've never even fucking heard of that. I've never heard of that. Common? Not common to me. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. That's like, that shows you how out of touch they are with like the Cinemod craze, right? So that was their whole plan, right? That's why they made these lenses, right? This is like Cook's answer to like the vintage Cinemodding, do close Simod craze. Like this is literally their answer to that. And they're so out of touch from that craze that they don't know that 80 mil is the real standard for outer diameter front. That's hilarious to me. No one fucking doing 64 mil. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? That's so bizarre. That's a bummer, actually. I never knew that. I never knew that. Wow, that's weird. That sucks. Then you got to buy the adapters for all of them then. And that's going to be really hard with the 25 mil. It's going to be really hard for you to get one that's going to go out wide enough. You're going to have to use a donut. See, this is a fucking bummer, dude. Now you got to use a rubber donut. It's like, geez, now you got to come off the clamp on, put it on the rails. Now we need to swing away. This is a whole to-do, man. You know? Oh, that's a bummer, dude. Now you just broke my dream lens, dude. Jason Morby's just destroyed my dream lenses, dude. What are you doing? I kind of hate them now. I kind of, because that's just a pain in, that is straight up a pain in the ass on set, you know? That's crazy to me, dude. Never even heard of Aspera. Gotta look that up. Yeah, dude, those are coming to town, bro. I think Media Division uses the Mavo. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're a little, they kind of march to their own drum. Okay, John 2000, take care, everyone. Support your brothers and sisters in the industry and look for the good business opportunities to enjoy. Good night, John. Probably didn't get that to you in time, brother, but good night, brother. I would do more photography, but the prices are still nuts for MF bodies. I'm not looking to drop $3,000 on 60-year-old mechanical stuff. It's crazy. Yeah, I know. I know, bro. You got to get the deals, but then you got to drop money into it. I got this camera for nothing, but then I took it to the shop and I had to give them $900 to make it work and be, well, not, it worked without it, but it took $900 to, you know, but it's, you know, it's a Leica, you know, you're going to pay Leica tax, but I know what you're saying, dude. Favorite film stock for your photography? Mine is Ilford FP4 and any slide film. Damn, slide film, you're wild, dude. I know I haven't experimented with slide film yet. I don't know anything about that, but I mainly, for like the past 6 months, maybe longer, I've been just doing black and white because I can do everything myself. I develop it myself. I scan it myself. And I'm still kind of down the rabbit hole of what I like. Tri-X. Like if price wasn't an option, it'd be Kodak Tri-X all day, every day. But that's for black and white. For color, I am kind of a stickler for, well, Vision 3, but we all know it's Cine Still, right? So it's Cine Still. I am a big fan of the Cine Still film when it's done right? When it comes back from the lab, right? Beautiful. If the lab fucks it up, it's like, ugh. But now I just scan my own. Now I only get the lab to develop the color. I don't like the home developed color. I don't want to mess with that many chemicals. Honestly, I don't care enough. But plus too, the lab here, they only charge like $7 to develop a color roll. I'll just go get it, give them the $7 and then come home and scan it myself. My colors look better than the lab anyways, this lab. But when I was traveling, that's another reason to watch the other channel, because it has a lot of our travels that we did. And they're still coming out. The episodes are still coming out. Because I did 11,000 miles last summer. For those of you who don't know, we bought this old ass RV from 1996. We broke down every fucking town we went to. And some of that you see in the videos and shit when we break down and shit. But, lost my train of thought. I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about. Oh yeah. Yeah. One of the best labs that I got pictures back from. I can show them to you right now. Well, oh yeah. That drive is attached. I'll show you some of the best looking. It was Cine Still 450D because I love 800T so much. And you know, everyone loves Portra and I don't care about Portra, but I am that kind of dude that likes to go opposite where most people go. So I already knew that I loved 800T, and I know 800T is super cliche too, but I just loved it. And then I was like, okay, let me try this 450D that Cine Still did. And some of the labs don't know what to do with it. But there was one lab in Rhode Island, and I haven't done my Rhode Island video yet on this channel yet because I had so much footage and stuff, and we were there like the longest. It's going to be a massive video, so it's just going to be a while till the Rhode Island video comes out. So that's why I've been only putting out shorts on this channel for a while. But shorts are honestly a good way to establish a new channel though. But anyways, film. So I'll show you in Rhode Island, and I'll show you all the places we went. It used to be called Local Calls, but we Freeway Life is so much cooler for so many reasons. But we got the idea from Bukowski, just like Dogtimes. Dogtimes came from Bukowski. Freeway Life come from Bukowski. Marianne found the Freeway Life one though. I didn't even know about that. But when I heard that, I'm like, dude, that's rad, dude. But what am I looking for? Rhode Island. It's down here. Yeah, so I'll show you these pics. Let me pull these pictures up real quick. We have Hope Street. Yeah, dude. These to me came out so good. The colors, now not all of these are bangers, but some of these are some of my favorite photos too. And I don't usually say it about my film stuff. Usually my film shots suck. Really they do. But some of these I just love. Like, you know, despite the focus being off, like I just love this. Like this guy, she's plugging her nose. He's up here smoking his thing with his little midriff showing and his belt hanging out. And this guy back here with the Florida shades. I just love, like, these are some, but the colors, I don't know. I like the way the colors look. Like this little girl plugging her ears. I love these photos, man. And this is all 450D. This was the only time where I felt like you got to turn your head for that one. But this one I really like. Yeah, the focus is always a little off with me because I zone focus, but I don't know. I just love the color. This is the only time I've seen 450D come back good though. This one I absolutely love. If you rotate your head, I don't know how to rotate it on the computer. I'm too dumb for that. But This is one of my favorite photos taken on film, and I can't ever say that usually. Usually my film sucks. It really does. But these colors and stuff just came back so nice. This shot I absolutely love. I love this. And
But the developer probably did a lot for the Rhode Island College of Design, so they.
oh, the Rhode Island College of Design is right there. That's a good point. Yeah, because this is just some of the best Cine Still 450D I ever got back. I mean, I don't even touch it. I don't even touch this shit. This is the TIFFs because I get high res scans. These are TIFFs, you know, and I don't know. But also, this is with the Leica M6, and you know what I used to have on the M6, the Cobb, the Summicron version 4 35 mil. I hated 35 focal length, but I got that in a trade. A guy traded me that, and I loved the rendering of the lens, but I hated the focal length. So I did end up selling it. But man, that's another bonus of the M6. You have the meter built in, and I didn't realize how often I used it. I used to be like, no, I don't really use it, but like, just look at the colors on this. I don't know. I thought it was, I've never seen 450D look like this. I honestly haven't. Usually it comes back all muddy and weird. But yeah, anyways, I know some of you, we lost you, but anyways, yeah, so that's kind of it, I guess. But I'm still searching for my favorite black and white. I love Tri-X and I love Double X, but I don't want to get stuck on those. I think what I'm going to end up doing is going Kentmere 400 because I kind of like a higher speed for black and white. Remember, I'm using a Super 35 sensor with a full frame lens, if that helps any. Oh yeah, Jason. Yeah, I forgot. You're shooting Super 35. Dude, honestly then, that 25 is going to be your workhorse. The 25 on Super 35, I would start with that. I forgot you're on Super 35. Yeah, dude, 25 mil. Because when I had the Milvis lenses, 25 was the golden member, dude. The 20, I shouldn't have said golden member while doing this. Oh shit. Yeah, but yeah, dude, the 25 on the, because I was shooting on the Milvises with the Komodo OG, and the 25 Milvis was the hero lens. It was like one of our favorite to use. So yeah, I forgot you're on Super 35. So I wouldn't even go 32 because the 25 is kind of going to be your 32. Isn't that where it lands? I think it lands around there anyways, roughly equivalent. So yeah, don't even bother with 32. I'd start with the 25, honestly. Damn, then you're right, 75. But here's the thing. Are you always going to be stuck in Super 35 world? This is why I stopped fucking with Super 35, guys. This is why. Because this is the whole reason why. This is the whole reason why I will never leave full frame ever again. This is the whole reason why. Because it fucks up the way that I know these lenses. You know what I mean? And it's like, and you're sitting there and now you're talking about investing all this money in these lenses because your camera shoots on Super 35. I think that's the wrong way to think about it, dude. But I know you have to because that's the cameras you use. But man, this is why I say I feel like crop sensors are a bad investment because of this conversation right here, dude. Honestly, I do. Honestly, I do. Because are you always forever going to be Super 35 forever, ever? Because these are the type of lenses, you might have these for a long time, hopefully. These are pretty expensive lenses, right? So you're talking like you're going to get these lenses. You should be catering your camera to these lenses, not the other way around, bro. Right? Like, honestly, that's the way I think about it. But I don't have to do that anymore because I don't fuck with crop sensors anymore. And honestly, that's the real reason. That's the real reason. Yeah, but if you want to cater it to your camera, then yeah, I would start with the 25 mil hands down. And then 75 is going to be way too tight for you. So then you're going to have to get then you're going to have to get the shitty 50 mil. And then it's going to be fucked with you as soon as you go to full frame. You're going to be like, I got 25 and 50. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but dude, that's going to be kind of a weird set if that's the only two you have, you know, because then you have to get the hundo. You're going to have to get the hundo then. So then it's going to be hundo, 50, 25. That's okay, I guess. It's okay, I guess. But yeah, that's what you're. But then even hundo is like, dude, Super 35 hundo. I mean, that's going to be a gnarly, but that's the only smart way to go. Double it up, you know. But maybe it'd be okay. For Super 35, maybe you'd be okay. You start with the 25. Yeah, then you would have to get the 18. You're Super 35, so it doesn't matter. You'd go 18, 25, and then, yeah, maybe keep it 75. Fuck it, who cares, you know? Maybe that's what I would do. But again, I wouldn't be catering it to a crop sensor camera. No way, right? I would buy these things just thinking about the reality of what they are. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that, I'm talking about the reality of the rendering of the focal length. Because here's the reality of it, right? You say, dude, I'm going to put my 25 mil on my Super 35 camera and now it's gonna be a 32 mil. But that's just because of the crop, right? It's still gonna be the characteristics of a 25 mil. It will never render faces the way a real 32 renders faces, right? So this is why I say, this is another reason why crop sensors fuck shit up, dude, because the 25 mil, it renders faces very differently, right? So that's why on the Komodo, a lot of times when you got to do like a close-up thing, we would jump to the 35 in the Milvises, right? Because the 25 sometimes, man, a little bit weird, distorted, depending on if it's a woman, you know, who you're filming. It might not be cool to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because a 25 is always a 25. That's never going to change, right? It's hard. It's hard when you're working with crop sensor camera. But I get it, dude. I get it. I just watched your 3 lenses video a few days ago, Justin. Thank you, dude. And it was really funny how we both independently came to the same conclusion because I did the exact same thing to build my own photo system. Yeah, dude, that's an old school trick, honestly. I mean, I just stole that from old photo heads, you know, they kind of started that old trend. And to me, it's genius. So what he's talking about, if you guys didn't see it, he's talking about my 3 lens video. And that's why you'll notice I just naturally only talk about sets of lenses in 3, because that's just how I think. That's how I operate, dude. And 1, it's a way cheaper way. You don't have to buy a whole fucking set of lenses, right? Because the reality is, in my experience, you bought this whole set. Now imagine you had to add the fucking $10,000 18 mil or however expensive it is. You're barely gonna use that 18 mil out of my own experience. Now again, that's full frame, right? If you're in Super 35 crop land, you probably will lean on that 18 quite a bit, honestly, because I know I did when I had the Milvises. And now you're probably saying like, well, then why is the 18 Milvis the only lens you still have? You want to know why? Because I can't sell that bitch. That's the only Milvis lens that I have not ever been able to sell. Why? Because it's an 18 mil, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy that those lenses cost so much. And once you buy them, you're never going to be able to get back what they're worth because it's a fucking 18 mil lens. You know what I mean? If you look up at the Zeiss Milvis lens right now, look how expensive this 18 mil Milvis is. It's crazy expensive. It's $1,800. And that's for the shitty Canon version. Now, if we look up and see what the Nikon F version is, oh, it's cheaper. Wow, it's cheap. I thought it was the other way around. Either way, it's only a $50 difference, but still, dude, $1,800? Guys, I can't even get $800 for this thing, and it's brand new. It's barely used. I still got the original box, everything with it. You can't fucking sell these things, and I got the gear. It's all modded out. Still can't sell that bitch. Still can't sell it for $800 fully modded out. It's like, bro, yeah, that's why I say 18 mil. That's a hard investment, and this is in the photography land. You know what I'm saying? And now you're gonna turn around and you're gonna add the Cooke SP3 18 mil. I'm scared to even see what the price tag on this bitch is. $5,000. You're gonna pay $5,000 for a lens that is gonna be. I don't know. Maybe it's different for you guys. But again, it's Super 35. But definitely in the world of full frame, it's going to sit in that case way more than any of these other lenses. You know what I mean? Just real talk, dude. And it's the most expensive one. Well, not much. It's only a $500 difference with these. Damn, these lenses are not. They're not. But dude, this is why I say, this is why I would cater the cameras to these lenses. Once you get these lenses, I don't even care what the camera is anymore. I don't really care what the camera is now, to be honest with you. Look, so this is the set right here. 12.8 thousand. And this is your set, your 25, 50 on hundo. That's your Super 35 set, but I don't know if I would do that. I don't know if I want 100 mil on a Super 35. I don't. 18, 25, 75. Final offer. Everybody close your eyes. Yeah, dude. I'm still fairly new to these arts, so I just bought my first serious kit a few months ago, and what I picked was a Canon R8 with RF 16-28-28, Sigma EF 40mm 1.4, and an RF 100 2.8 macro. Damn, dude. Canon R8. Hey, that's not, you know, look, like I said, none of this stuff is going to hurt you, dude. What I would say is play around with some vintage glass, dude. Play around with something. Give you a little bit of flavor on that bitch, you know? Brandon Coleman says he likes 35 mil. Ain't nothing wrong with 35 mil. I don't know, dude. It's just not one that I would just rather use a 28. I just would. You know what I mean? Just give me the 28 mil. You might have convinced me on the 25, 32, and 75. I want to build a 3-lens kit with an SP3. Yeah, me too, bro. Me too. I'd be fairly close to that. But since you are thinking about Super 35, I would start with the 25. But I don't know why do you want to go 25 and 32? Because I mean, those just seem a little close to me. But I forget. Those are the options they give you. You're right. Yeah, those are that's the only options they give you. Yeah, that's right. I don't know though. If you're on Super 35, maybe you would benefit from the 18 mil. You might benefit from the 18 mil more, and then that would make more sense. 18, 32, 75. Honestly, that would make more sense. 18, 32, 75. And if you remember from my Schneider Xenon days, that's what I did. Well, they didn't have a 32, but they had a 35. They had a 35 and a 75, and then I was using the Zeiss Milvus 18 with it, and that was that was my trio a lot too. Because the Schneider Xenon 18 was like $6,000 and I just couldn't afford it, right? So I had the 3575 Schneider Xenon, cut it with 18 Milvus. So you might want to think about that, right? Because 25 and 32 sit fairly close. And in the world of Super 35, I feel like that if you want to do the 32, which I think you should, then maybe you want to cut the 18 with it instead of the 25. Talking Super 35 land, you know? 100%. 50 mil is my favorite focal length. People call it the normal focal length, but it's not. 50 mil actually tilts toward tele. 35 is the normal length, or however you want to phrase it. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, Joel Meyerowitz was saying that shit too. I did a video on that too, but it was a weird video. But yeah, Meyerowitz was saying that the 35 is technically, literally technically is the true normal life vision in terms of like eyeballs and stuff. So it's right. The 35 is, and he was talking about it because, Joel Meyerowitz primarily shoots 35 mil, but yeah, 50 mil is tele, but I don't like the 50 mil. I just don't. I kind of like it to be a little off, like 40 and 75. Yeah, I like the 45. I just like it being a tad different. He says he always felt that 50 mil was more like tele than normal too, which is why I went with the 40 mil standard lens. Yeah, other than my specific Sigma lens being absolutely cracked for the money, I think 50 millimeter is kind of annoying to walk around with. I always find myself wanting more space. I can always crop in later, but I can't zoom out in post. Yeah, I've never, I can't say never. I went one time. I took the 50 mil, and this was when I did because I did a video on it. I had the original 50 mil Summicron collapsible Leica lens, and I did a video on it with the Leica M10, and I took it out maybe once, maybe twice. And I only was shooting on it because I was making myself shoot on it. I was making myself shoot on that 50 mil, only time for like street. In the world of cinematography, certainly have used the 50 mil Leica R Summicron. I've used that a lot. But that's only before I was able to get the Nisi 40 mil. And then I said bye-bye to that 50 mil because I love that. That Nisi 40 mil is like my workhorse lens on the FX6. It really is. Yeah, they fucked up the outer diameter of the SP3 lens. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I feel like that's the only downside. Also, the 58 millimeter. Yeah, but here's the thing. Who cares about the inner filter thread? Like, nobody really cares about that. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, if they would have, well, that's why they did it like that, because they started with some stupid half-baked idea that they thought was the standard, which it's not, right? Like, what was that again? Like 68 or some bullshit? 64? I don't know in what world they live in. But that's why it had to be 58, right? So that was like their biggest downside. If they would have went 80 outer, then the inner would have to be 77, and it would be standard across the board. That's what I mean. They're like, I don't even know. Where's Cook from? They're England, right? I don't know what they're smoking on, dude. That's so weird to do that. This is kind of off topic, but do you think people over romanticize the idea of film, movie, not stills? And by that, I mean people keep trying to emulate these film looks, but 90% of people don't even get close to the film look we've seen the most. The desaturated magentas and greens of the Eastman film stocks would always come to my mind, not just putting a strong backlight on a Rec 709 LUT. I love that you numbered these. Does it like cut you off character count? That's so funny, dude. Part 1, part 2, part 3. Oh, shit. Do I think people over romanticize the idea of film? 100%, dude. That was my whole point of the dehancer thing. Did you guys see my Dehancer video where I said they're taking over? Some of you guys might have missed that, but yeah, dude, 100%. Where's this at? I'll just show you the thumbnail so you can check it out. It's this one right here. They're taking over. Look, it says they're taking over. Ah, damn it. It's this one over here. It says they're taking over the internet, a 12-step program for filmaholics. An honest look at the Dehancer film emulation. Yeah, dude, that video did not get enough. That video deserves way more views, honestly, dude. It opens up with a crazy sketch. Dehancer loved it too, dude. They are sharing it, but you know, people see my face. They don't even want to watch the video, bro. I think that's the reputation I've found myself in. Like, people are like, this motherfucker doing another video. So that's why I just got to stop putting my face on these thumbnails and trick them. I should put Gerald's face. Dude, for my next video, I'll put Gerald's face on my body. Then they'll click on it and be like, oh, it's a fucking Justin Phillip video. No explanation of why I had Gerald's face on the thumbnail. Oh shit, dude, that would be hilarious. He'll be calling me. Dude, what the fuck? Oh my god, dude. Oh man. So for those of you that didn't know, the other one that we were talking about earlier, the this one, how to choose your best work is only with 3 lenses. Now this video from my little channel has got a decent amount of views. So that is true. That's the one they were talking about. I only use 3 lenses. But yeah, I totally agree that, yeah, they're over romanticizing the film look. That's the whole reason Dehancer exists. That's the whole reason Dehancer exists. Look at this beautiful shot, dude. Wild. This movie's so iconic. I wish it made more sense in my brain, like the script. I would be more apt to like put it on like my top 5 list. But dude, the script just loses me. I can't follow anything Terrence Malick does. I'm just like I'm like out of the loop, dude. Shit, yeah, I'm not sure which ones to get now. I might start with the 18, 25, and 32. Then I go full frame in the future. I'll grab the 75. Actually, I don't know anymore. No, dude, do what I was saying. 18, 32, 75. Game over. End of deal. 18, 32, 75. Cinema was shot on Super 35 film for like 100 years. What up, Matthias Bastos? Which is the same field of view as crop sensors. I know. Full frame is the new kid on the block in terms of digital filmmaking. The best lenses are all Super 35 glass. Hey, now he's not wrong about that. Some of my most preferred glass is the Zeiss Super Speeds. And those are, I'm talking about the originals, those are Super 35. You know what, dude? These things are still so super expensive. $58,000, bro. Could you imagine? And this dude put these on eBay? Could you imagine spending that much money on eBay? No, you would never. Even if I was a billionaire, you would not catch me spending $58,000 on eBay. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. If I had 58 grand to spend on eBay, I would drive my happy ass to wherever the fuck these are, and I would pay them. Oakland, California. Easy for me, dude. But even if I was on the other side of the country, hell no. Hell no, I just wouldn't trust it. You're spending 58 G's, I don't care if I'm a billionaire. I wouldn't care, dude. Nah, you're a billionaire. You can easily take a drive to Oakland or take a flight to Oakland and pick these up. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy to me that these are on eBay. It's crazy to me. Wow, he doesn't even have the whole set. Doesn't even have the whole set. That's crazy, bro. But you gotta buy these. You gotta buy stuff like this in person. You know, these are old lenses. But you know what's really nice about lenses like these? When you like, you know, like when I'm working on jobs and we'll rent like really cool like glass from like old fast glass and like really we'll rent, you know, when we rent some cool glass sometimes. And I always like to think like, what were these used on? You know, like what have these lenses seen and captured? You know, it's super nerdy. No, I know, dude. Hey, look, I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of Super 35, but the reality is it doesn't change. Like it's hard when you start working in the photography world, because then like when you do both, like, and I know I'm preaching the choir. Okay. I already know. So I apologize, but you understand what I'm saying? Like if you're doing both video and photo, having to jump from the mindset of what a lens looks like, that fucks with you, dude. Honestly, it does. And that's why I say like, yeah, I'll take the new kid on the block any day of the week. And dude, if it wasn't popular, and I know like the Alexa, this new one it is only Super 35, but that's its thing, you know, it's its thing. That's its niche, you know, they're always, it's ARRI. They're always going to accommodate that, you know? But it's hard for someone that bounces back and forth doing the documentary photography thing and then going back to cinematography, videography, whatever you want to call it. I just like it all to be normal in my brain, you know, for the way my brain works. Most people could care less. All facts, bro. 100%. I have a rehouse set of Zeiss Otis Milvis. He's cutting the Otis with a Milvis. Now that's pretty cool. Making a custom 21mm T15 Otis. Stoked to use them on Super 35 and full frame. Wait, you're making what do you mean making a custom 21mm? What are you talking about? And by the way, did you know they have new Otis lenses? Have you seen the new Zeiss Otis lenses? Look at them. They're so weird looking. Wow, they're made for Sony E-mount now. Wow. But wait, what are you talking about? A Otis 21mm? I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, we're not even going to find the old school ones. The old school ones are badass. Was there a 21mm? What do you mean making a custom? No, oh, I see what you're saying. You're doing it with the Zeiss contacts. You're doing it with the Zeiss contacts. That's more like super speed glass though, right? You talking about the Zeiss contacts 21mm? I remember when everybody wanted this lens, dude. I remember when this was like the holy grail. But now I see this and you feel like, oh, that's not that much money. You remember like 6 years ago, you'd see this price tag, you'd be like, no way, I'm never paying that. Nowadays, you're like, actually, that's not bad. You know? Isn't that crazy how that works? That's crazy to me. Is this what you're talking about though? You're gonna cut this contacts with your dude, if you're gonna do that, you might as well just get the classic, but you can save a lot of money. That's what I did. It's pretty much the same glass. It's not gonna be the same coatings though, huh? But these, if this is the plan, these coatings are not gonna cut with the Otis. You're gonna have to do the Zeiss Classic. Zeiss Classic 21 will cut way better with the Otis. And look, it's way cheaper. I used to have this lens too. Dude, I think I got $900 for it. Mine was totally modded out. And this is back in the day. Like back in the day, but it was not the ZE. Hell no. It was the ZF. Oh, they don't have the ZF. They don't even have the ZF. That's why it's so cheap. Nah, don't waste your money on the ZE. But I think the coatings of these, the classics, these are called the classics, by the way, the ZE and CFs. These will cut way better with the Otises and the Milvises than the contacts will. The contacts ain't gonna cut. The coatings are way too different. If that's what you're talking about when you're talking about making a custom 21mm. Oh, but no, T15, I don't know what the hell you're doing. You gotta let us know, Mateos. This whole session has turned into Justin pining for these Cook lenses. Yeah, dude, it's all Jason Moresby's fault, bro. We're supposed to be talking about the extreme. God damn it. That's funny, bro. We're supposed to be talking about ARRI core. I love that it's extreme with ARRI core. Hardcore ARRI core. Hardcore ARRI core. What if, and I mean what if there was a Cook SP3 zoom lens? Oh yeah, everybody be all over that. Are you kidding me? Everybody be all, look, it doesn't matter. Anything Cook puts their name on, everybody's gonna be all over it, dude. Everybody's gonna be all over it. I would do that. I would do that too. I kind of am a stickler for zoom lenses. It just makes a lot of sense for like the lower the budget is. It's like, but at the same time, I never do it. I always say this. I go, yeah, I'm gonna use zoom lenses. The only time I use zooms is for like documentary bullshit. If it's a narrative thing or like a commercial thing, but let's be honest, I primarily live in the narrative world, except in music videos. In music videos, we'll still use zooms in the music videos and stuff, but I don't know, in the narrative world, I always say, yeah, it'll be so much easier if I just use a zoom, and I never do. Never do. Never do. I should, though, with the low-ass, you know, I work on low-budget narrative stuff. You guys know. It's just so much quicker. You don't have to deal with all the lens changes. I think film has context that comes with a certain kind of gravitas due to the way it's presented, larger than life in a cinema, and how you have to go out of your way to see it there. And I think that people are moved by that feeling of weight that watching film has and want their own work to have that feeling of substantiveness. And they try to copy the idea of the look of film in order to try to borrow that feeling, but it doesn't really work because the content and the context aren't captured in the same way. You know who really pulled it off well was Severance. You know how they did one episode of Severance in film? That was done really well. And in fact, I think the same episode also had flashbacks to the digital world. I could be wrong about that. Am I wrong about that? Or was the film video all past? I think it was all in the past, wasn't it?
Everything that was past was film. So if they flash forward, it was digital.
I know, but in the episode they went back and forth?
I can't remember.
That's what I can't remember either, because I feel like I think the whole episode was only in the past. It was only in the past. So the whole episode was shot on film. But they did it really well. But I mean, if you guys haven't seen that show, My favorite focal lengths are 28, 50, 85, and 105. 105? Probably because I came up on Nikon glass and those are really their best glass. Yeah, 105. That's some weird shit, dude. Scott Bolcom in the house, dude. He's just in time. You're just in time where, I don't know what we're all kinds down rabbit holes. Scott Bolcom in the house. I'm combining an Otis 28. Oh, an Otis 28 with a times 75 wide angle adapter turns it into a 21 mil with no light loss. How are you going to get no light loss? Rehousing it. Oh, okay. Like how TLS makes the Canon FDX 18 mil T15, 24 mil FD, and Ingenue 0.75 times. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. How is it not going to get no light loss though? How? Have you tested this? Because the rehouse isn't going to magically fix it. Like, I feel like any wide angle adapter at all is going to have some sort of light loss. How is it not going to have any? But here's the thing. Isn't the Otis 28 like a 1.5 or some shit? Yeah, it's a 1.4. So even if you do lose, like, what's the most you're going to lose? Like a third? I really do think you're going to lose at least a third of light. I don't know how you would put a wide angle adapter on it and not lose any stop. Like you're at least a third, which isn't going to be nothing on a 1.4. But wait, what's he talking about? Oh, yeah. What are your thoughts on the Cooke Mini S4i since they fucked up the the outer diameter on the SP3? I'm derailing the main topic again. Oops. So who is mad at you this week? Scott Balcom. Damn, Scott Balcom coming in. Nah, I see what Scott's doing. He got offended because I said he was too nice. Now he's got to stir the pot a little bit. Dude, Scott, who isn't mad at me? There is someone mad at me though. Oh, damn. Hold on. He's talking about the Mini S4Is. Hold on. Let me look this up real quick. Cooke. Ooh, I think this is going to cost you a lot more money, bro. You got to really think about this now. Okay, hold on. How much money you looking to drop, bro? I mean, Jesus, dude. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, these are going to cost you quite a bit more, no? Jesus, dude. Look how much the 21 mil is. God dang, dude. Yeah, dude. Dude, I don't know. You balling like that, bro? Dude, honestly, if you're balling like this, I want you to seriously think about those Zeiss super speeds I showed you. Now, realistically, because the Zeiss super speeds are going to be a real investment, right? These are a real invest. Now, I know the Cookes ain't no joke. These are no slouches, right? But look, these are legendary. And these are no longer being sold on B&H, if they ever even were anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are legendary. And these are real cine lenses. This is the real deal. You know, I mean, if you're balling hard, you might want to start looking, you know, and maybe you can't get the whole set, but start looking, because every now and then, at least here in LA, every now and then, people will drop just a single Zeiss super speed, just a single one. And I'm always like, you know, but it's still way too much for my blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, dude, I can't go spend $5,000 on one lens right now, which is cheap. And I don't even know if that's a real thing. Right? But I do see single ones dropping. I can't remember what the price is on them. But you do see them drop like every now and then. Now, be careful too, because you don't want to get the Super 16 ones unless you get the ARRI Extreme and you only shoot 666. Then you could get the Super 16 Zeiss Super Speeds. Damn it, too many tabs are open right now. I gotta start closing these. Here it is. Yeah, because these are the Super 16 ones. So this will mess you up a little bit. So you gotta be a little bit careful, you know. But honestly, I mean, look, dude, $6,000. And this is the same price as the S4i. That's why I say, I'm like, dude. Now look, if you want my real opinion, and I know Cookes are Cookes and they're cool, but there's a little tiny bit of part of me. But now here's the downside. These are Super 35. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are forever Super 35. That might be the only hang up. You know what I'm saying? But aren't the Cooke S4i Super 35? Yeah, these are also Super 35. What the hell, dude? I don't know. I know Cookes are beautiful, though. I don't know. I think I just have a soft spot for these Zeiss lenses because I've seen them in the real world. I've also seen the Cookes. I've also seen these in the real world. And when I say like jobs that I've been on, these are beautiful. Don't get me wrong. These are beautiful lenses. But here's the thing. It's more about the people in the real world that I've seen using the super speeds. Okay. And I know I shouldn't care about that. It shouldn't be about the person, but to me it is. Because to me, it's like, if it's a badass cinematographer, and it's like, dude, that's what they're using. I'm like, oh, okay. That's good for me to know. Let me take note of that. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. But here's something else I will say. In the real world, and Scott knows this too. In the real world, that same DP next week, he might use the Cook S4s because that's how they are. They choose the right lens for the job. So that's another thing to think of. You know, you're talking about big. You know, it's just a different world. So, I mean, I don't know, but I just have a really big soft spot for the Zeiss Super Speeds. I really do. I agree, but the point is, I was mainly trying to sell was that I think most people just don't know what film actually looks like. Most movies shot on color film after Technicolor was on. Well, maybe if they're like, but dude, I'm pretty new to the game, right? I've only been shooting since 2017, but again, I've devoted the past year to shooting on film, so I've kind of trained myself to know what film looks like. So I guess you could be right. Like if you came up digital, only do digital, yeah. I will admit, before I started messing with film last year, it was a little hard for me to tell. But if I think about before I started like really researching and comparing, because once you really start looking at like I don't know, like I think it's like the highlight roll off, like there are certain things, but I know it's hard now because everybody's using ways to emulate it. Like there's film emulations everywhere. And it's getting really good. And it does make you feel like, is it even worth it? But some of the emulations are, right? Like a lot of them are. And you guys know what I'm talking about because they just kind of are like, they become like this carbon copy thing that's just like, it's just put on there, you know, like all willy-nilly just slapped on. I mean, but if you are someone that like really takes your time with it, dude, like Miguel, the guy that I got to shoot my audio socket thing, nobody watched that video, by the way, either. Here's my audio socket. Where's that audio socket video at? Right here. Making a spec ad for $0. You guys should go check that out. And then, like the beginning part is only like a minute long, but Miguel Ordez shot that, and I kind of wanted him to shoot it on, or I kind of wanted him to grade it on Dehancer, so I kind of like coaxed him into grading it in Dehancer and using like Ektachrome. I told him to use Ektachrome for the outdoor stuff and then use 500T for the indoor stuff because that's kind of like what I wanted to do. And I knew he was good at using Dehancer because he partnered with him a long time ago. And yeah, dude, I think it turned out great. Like, you know, me and him on that was a great combo, bro. I was super stoked about that little thing. But so if it's someone like him and he, you know, like that really knows the program, they're pretty flawless at it. Let me see. I might have a copy of it still on my desktop here that we can bring up, dude. If you guys, just so I can show you what I'm talking about. Because the way I use Dehancer is way different than how he does it. But I'm not like a skilled color grade. I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience to color grade how, and also I don't have the eyeballs. I just can't trust myself. And because I can't trust my eyeballs, I can't trust any of it, right? So I get burnt out on it. But like this is, and I know this is just a screen record. But yeah, I love some of these. This was a frame. I was fighting for this. I was trying to do the Handmaid's Tale thing, but we were in a really tight spot. But I still love it, dude. And when I say Handmaid's Tale thing, I'm talking about like I wanted to ride the frame like that. But it's still, we didn't have the location. I wanted it to be way wider because I originally wanted to shoot this on the 28, but the location sucks. So I was like, okay, we got to do it on the 50 mil. But like some of these shots, like I just love this, right? Like I love the way this turned out. Like in the way I use Dehancer would never look like this. There's an even better shot of the let me mute this. There's an even better shot of the mirror that he did that is so killer. This is all FX6. He used my camera, had him use my camera, and this shot right here. I love this, like the oranges and everything. And this would have been Ektachrome. It's just, I don't know, I like it. I thought it was done really well. And it's just, I don't think it's a look that I could whip out in a few days. You know what I mean? I just don't. It's hard to watch this without the music. It really is a piece that demands music. I mean, hence audio socket. But anyways, this is like one of my favorite shots. This is one of the ones he got. I didn't even know. I saw him getting it, but I didn't know what the frame was until after. I'm like, damn, I love that shit, dude. Anyways, 0.75 times wide angle adapter only has 1% light loss. Yeah, but I still think you're going to lose a third of a stop. I know it. It ain't nothing. From Justin's dream set to mine, I'm a huge OG Zeiss. Yeah, dude. Yo, Scott says, I wasn't impressed with the S4 minis. I'd rather have S4s. I also don't mind the S3s. Yeah, Scott, that's what we were salivating over for the longest time before you got in here, was the Cooke SP3s. Those are my new dream lenses. They really are. But you know what? Do you know this, Scott? They don't, oh, I'm in the used section. They don't even have, the fronts are messed up, dude. The fronts are like some weird size. It's like a 64 mil or something. And I don't understand why they did that. Because now you got to adapt them all up. You know, it's just weird to me. It's like, I don't have any donuts that are 64 mil. Is that crazy of me? And they said it was standard. Like, Scott would know this. Like, why did they say 64 mil is the standard? Where'd it go? I know it's in here somewhere. Right here, a common 64 millimeter front diameter. What the hell are they talking about, dude? What in what world is anything 64 mil common? I didn't understand that at all. Am I like completely out of the loop, or is that like a Cooke thing? Like, what Cooke lenses are 64 mil though? Like, that's so weird to me. Like, and what I was telling the guys earlier was like, dude, like in the world of Cinemod, we all know it's 80 mil. Like 80 mil is the common front diameter. So it was just really confusing to me. Or am I like completely not, like, am I missing something here? I imagine Scott would know that. Eastman 100T 5254. Nobody's trying to make their movies look like that. It's like they have a different idea of what film is. Eastman 100T. You'd have to give me a movie reference on that, bro. Super 35 is cool. I dig it. And then I turn around and buy full frame everything. I know, me too. I just feel like it's a better future proof. Well, plus I'm only shooting full frame now. What do you think? Have we reached peak camera? The improvements in cameras lately have been so tiny. Yo, yeah, that's what I was saying before you got in here, Scott. I was telling guys, like, dude, if you got anything 2020 or newer, you're good. I mean, like, I feel like maybe beyond 2020 might be a little old, in my opinion, but anything from 2020, I mean, I don't even care what it is, dude. Yeah, that's how I feel. That's why I don't even care about the cameras anymore. That's why I kind of did the video that everyone lost their mind about, that where I ranked all the video cameras and stuff. Like, I just feel like, who cares? Like, I really don't care. I feel like all of them are awesome, right? Like, I think we all can agree on that, right? Yeah. I mean, obviously this new RGBW sensor thing, I don't know if we still have that up here with all these tabs. It'd probably be a nightmare to find it. But the RGBW sensor that Blackmagic is going to drop, I think that will be like the new thing that maybe people start kind of wanting to go to. But this is another thing, Scott. What's up with this? Like, why are they saying Blackmagic RGBW, but then like what is this? Like, what other camera? Is there a camera out there that is RGBW sensor? What the hell are they talking about? Like, why did they have to like come out the gate claiming, like, aren't they the first ones to do RGBW? So what the hell are they comparing this to? Like, I don't understand that either. Or is there some other camera out there that already has RGBW? But in terms of your question, I think this will be the new thing. Like, whatever this RGBW thing is, I think this will be the thing that will be like, now there's this new thing that everybody needs to chase, you know? I don't know. That's my opinion. Which I think this will be like if this works and this is rad, like, I do think this will be the next innovative thing. I really do. Like, this is the next step, you know, in terms of like color reproduction and shit. Did you see the HBO camera assessment series? The last one? Film did not do very well at all. What are you talking about? HBO camera assessment series? Hold up. What are you talking about? HBO cameras. I don't know what this is. I never heard of this. Oh, dude, this is over my head. I didn't know about this at all. Oh, so this is like where they list like how everything is doing in the industry? 2025? Did they do 2025 yet? Or are you talking about 2024? They haven't done 2025 yet. What year? 2024. Do they not do it every year?
2025.
I know, but I can't find the 2024 one either. I don't know anything about this. Scott, I never looked into this. The HBO Camera Assessment Series is an ongoing project that evaluates different camera systems to create a library of images for Warner Brothers Discovery Productions. Oh, this is like HBO Max only. The goal is not to declare a best camera, but to determine which cameras are most suitable for specific scenarios. The latest installment, 2023, includes cameras like the ARRI Alexa 35, Sony. So even this is a couple years behind now. Red V Raptor, Blackmagic Ursa 12K, alongside 35mm film. Screenings and discussions are held to educate filmmakers on the strengths and weaknesses of each system. So crazy. I never even knew this was a thing. Oh, wow. But why is it only for Warner Brothers Discovery? This is like a project that specifically Warner Brothers Discovery does because they own HBO, and then I think AT&T actually owns all of these people, right? So this is kind of cool that they do this. It's kind of interesting. I never knew this was a thing. So he's saying that film did not do very well at all. Yeah, but I think that's because also you got to think about, like, shouldn't we think about the content though, Scott? Like the content that Warner Brothers Discovery makes. Granted, they make some badass shit. I mean, HBO honestly has some of my favorite shows. I'm not gonna lie. But I think we do need to acknowledge that a little bit, right? Because like I feel like television isn't gonna want to invest a whole lot of money into film. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't feel like Warner Brothers Discovery. I don't know. It is. I guess Warner Brothers is still. Yeah, I guess Warner Brothers is still in the game of making movies. I guess they're still making movies, but I think primarily this would be more focused towards television, I would imagine. But I don't know. I just found out about it. So what the fuck do I know? Oh shit! Here we finally have a phone call. Jesus, it's 10:20 already. Hello?
Welcome.
Yo.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press...
Here we go. Scott's up here. I just realized how late it is. What is up, Scott?
Hello.
You're on live.
You got me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. So there'll be a little bit of a delay. So you might have to turn down whatever the other thing is.
I turned it down. I got you. So, HBO Camera Assessment Series. What it is basically supposed to be a completely just random, let's test cameras in real world scenarios. And they hadn't done one in a while. COVID kind of killed it. But they did one recently, and they took those cameras there, and they give them these exceptionally difficult situations to film in. And they basically run them the best way that they can, and try to then just compare them. And they don't have like favorites. They don't try to make an ARRI look better than anything else. And this last one was wild, and film did not do well.
And it was the 2023 one. Is that the latest one?
Yes.
Yeah.
The only way you can see this, you have to see it when they play it, and they will only play it in certain Dolby theaters because it has to have perfect representation. So they did it at City Gear 2 years ago, and that's when I got to see it, and it was amazing. They had scenes where they built, if you think of like the old Hollywood squares, they built a house where you see it from the outside, but there's like different levels of rooms, and each room had a different problem where it was like too bright, there's too dark, there's a lot of shadows, there's a lot of different contrast situations happening, and they film it all from a single camera, all of the outside, and then they kind of push it. They push 5 over, 5 under, and see which cameras can come out on top.
Wow, that does sound awesome.
I'll tell you, man, if you could find it to watch it, it's well worth to see it because it's fair. It's very fair. But one of the funniest ones was they had this scene at night, so it was just full moon, and it was out on a boat dock, and they are basically going out to the boat, and they're getting in the boat, and then they're cruising around on the boat. It's all with just like the single maritime light in the rear of the boat, and you had the moonlight. So you see they had the red V-Raptor in there. They had the Sony Venice. They had the full frame Alexa, and they all looked really good. Oddly enough, the red actually did one of the best night shots. It was people were just amazed at it, and then film came up. And you couldn't see anything. It was just like you could just see some lights. That was it.
Oh yeah, I
wild.
bet, dude. But hold up though, the Red V Raptor performed better in the low light than the Sony Venice 2?
Yes.
Really?
And it is subjective. So, and
Right.
you could walk away with a different opinion.
Uh-huh.
But everybody that I talked to that saw it was very impressed with how well the V-Raptor did.
Wow. Yeah, and that was not even the X.
But no, it wasn't. And it was funny because it wasn't even shot well.
Right.
And it was. In fairness, they didn't know everything about V-Raptor at the time. It was brand new.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they had the Blackmagic older 12K, which it's not a great sensor.
Uh-huh.
The newer one's way better. But they didn't know how to shoot the like the reds to shoot, like if you're trying to get more highlights, then you've got to shoot it at really high ISO.
Right.
And they didn't know that. So they were just doing it certain ways. But I wanted to make a video on the camera substance series, but I cannot find anything. And there's no clips. They will not let it out.
Weird.
It's horrible.
Well, yeah, interesting. So maybe for the next one, maybe you could get in on the ground floor and do your video that way.
Oh God, I would love to, but yeah, it's so beyond me. They hired. I think they said it was like $12 million or something. They spent a ton of money.
Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, if they built a whole-on house, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I found like one still frame from it, and I think if you Google a little bit more, you might find in your image search some of the images from it. But it's hard to come up with.
Yeah, I've been just kind of like, yeah, I've been just kind of trying to search in articles on it and stuff while we've been talking here. But yeah, dude, there's not like a video on it or nothing. Well, it looks like this thing, but this is just a Q&A.
Yeah, so that's what they did. So they played it at City Gear, and then they did a little bit of Q&A with it.
Wow, that's cool though.
It's really cool just to see all cameras today and how they stack up. And I'll be perfectly honest, all of them look pretty darn good.
I imagine so.
4K, that one was a little bit less, but it did rather well. And of course, the ARRI did really well, and the Red, and the Sony does really well. And then you see film, and film's got like 10 stops at immigration. It doesn't show up.
Yeah. But it's a little harder with the film though, right? Because you're kind of like stuck with whatever film. Like this thing that I found said that was 5219, but like what film was it? Like what was the ASA or whatever?
Right.
It
is listed on the screen, and I did not. I was a good boy. I didn't take a picture.
Yeah, because because I feel like it's like the film is gonna, even with the higher ASA, it is still gonna kind of fall apart even quicker, honestly.
Right.
Yeah. Wow, dude. Wow, that's amazing, dude. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, man, because I had no idea about this. I wonder when they'll do the next one. It looks like they do them pretty far apart.
Well, and they used to do them like every 4 years, I think, and then COVID just kind of screwed with everything, and it was really bad.
Yeah. I mean, that
some photos.
Kind of messed it all up, dude. That's amazing, dude. Thank you so much for bringing that to our attention, dude. I didn't know about that at all. I never heard about that.
Yeah, and it plays in LA. I don't know now if it plays very often, but when they release it plays in LA, it'll play in New York, and it'll play a couple of other places, but it's never in a place that they don't control the projection.
Oh, they still show it then? Like they'll still go places and show the tests?
Yeah, it is possible to see it. I just don't know.
Oh, I see. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, because I found this old Reddit ad right here, but this is from, I think this is the same year. Yeah, this is from 2023, and they were saying that they were showing it at the Motion Picture Academy in Hollywood back then in 2023.
On the Google image search, there's an Instagram post that shows it from Lucky Duck Camera. There's a couple of stills from it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. The Instagram here. Yeah, I see that.
That mixed colors one was a house party. And they even did underwater shots. They did everything. That was a full Steadicam shot the whole way through.
Wow.
And, I mean, it was wild to see. Yeah, you're behind on the screen, but yeah, that the dynamic range on that mixed colors and where certain cameras couldn't hold up and others could, but then you flip it and you go to the next room and there's lasers going and everything. And
Oh yeah, I see the Instagram post you're talking about now with the violinist and shit, the musicians and stuff.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Wow, that is so cool, man. That would, oh, I see the house now. Available light. Wow. Look what they do for dynamic range. Wow, this is really good inspiration for just, you know, your own color, or not your color, but your own camera test, you know? This is like good inspiration. Yeah.
It was really well done. It was really cool. It was eye-opening. It was also, if you didn't walk away from there going, huh, you know, I probably got a pretty good camera, whatever it was, whatever camera you got, it's a pretty good camera.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's how I feel so much about so many of the cameras. That's cool. Mixed colors. Yeah, I see they're in the pool. Wow, that's wild. Awesome, dude. That's amazing, dude.
Before I called in, like a big camera, I think the Sony FX3, A7S3, FX6 sensor is probably about the best reasonably priced sensor period out there. It just does everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they ain't dropping on those prices. They're not dropping on that, not yet anyways. Yeah, dude. All right, man, I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, dude, I think, yeah, thanks, Scott. Thanks for calling in, brother. Hey, what are you shooting on right now?
Right now, I've got VRAM Super 35, I've got FX3, and I've got Blackmagic Ursa 12K.
Damn, big baller. All right, brother. We'll see you in the next one.
All right, see you.
Later. Oh, damn. Guys, we went way too long, dude. Holy shit. 8, 9, 10. All right, we got to go, guys. Scott Balcom wrap this up. That's wild. We'll have to be on the lookout for when that happens again. But, dude, this is perfect inspiration for future DOGTIMES fucking camera lens tests right here. I love that mixed colors idea. That's wild. Okay, guys, I got to go. No more messing around. Thank you all for coming in.